Paisley with Varsity Sports here.
And we are live on a beautiful November night as Brophy hosts the Mountain View Pride. Brophy currently 7-1, coming off a couple wins, and Mountain Point coming off of a loss against South Point Catholic. I'm Greg Zaber here with the Varsity Sports Show, joined with.
This is Kabish Siddhartha. Great game tonight. Thanks for introducing the teams, Greg. Obviously, Mountain Point's coming off a loss last week to South Point, 29-12, and Brophy. They've actually been playing some of their best football in the last few weeks. Last week, coming off a win, 45-14 against Corona del Sol. Greg, I know you go to Brophy. You've been following their season a lot. What can you tell us about how they're coming into this game tonight and how they've looked in the last few weeks?
Yeah, so Brophy at the start of this month, October 4th, lost a tough game to Basha, 35-32, and they went in with a battered attitude going in that bye week. On that October 11th, they had that week off. Since then, in their games against Desert Vista and Corona del Sol, they've absolutely blown them out. Like 51-10 was the DV game, and then as you said, 45-14 the Corona del Sol game, and that's been led by an amazing gameplay by Case Vandenbosch. He's just been controlling the game at quarterback. Just really solid play out of him. He did not throw a single incompletion in the Desert Vista game. That was a couple weeks ago, and only threw a couple last week. It's just been controlled and easy play. He's not taking any deep shots. He's just not throwing interceptions and not letting them have any mistakes.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were talking about, Vandenbosch has been playing amazing. That's a big part as to why they're the number 5 team in Arizona. More often than not, we talk about quarterbacks. How important it is for them to limit the turnovers. Get those touchdowns on the field.
Yeah, and we're going to take a quick break, and we will roll some pregame interviews of both the Mountain Point and the Brophy head coaches, and we will be back in a little bit.
Paisley Pool with Varsity Sports here. I'm here with head coach Eric Lauer of the Mountain Point Pride. Coach, tonight you're facing the Brophy Broncos. It's no joke, they can put numbers up. How have you prepped for this week?
Well, film doesn't lie. So they've put up some real good film, and we're excited. We're up for the challenge. The weather's great. It's a great night, great atmosphere for high school football, and we're excited.
And tell me more about your team. We're going to see them on the field tonight, but what are these guys like off the field?
They're a great group. It's been a pleasure. I thought about this off season, even before the season started. It's just been a group that we've gotten really tight with, and it's been one of my best years in reference to our kids and their personalities and just us gelling. It's been a great year in that respect.
And it was a tough loss against Sal Point, and it was the first home loss of the season. How are you guys going to bounce back and, just get on the board for Brophy tonight?
Yeah, that was a lot of us, so that is even more frustrating when you lose those kind of games, your mistakes that you made. So we're going to try to correct those things, self-correct, and try to start as fast as we can, not get behind the chains, right, and keep pushing.
Right, and we're excited to see it tonight. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Paisley Poole here reporting for Varsity Sports. I'm on the sideline here with head coach of the Brophy Broncos, Coach Jason Jewell. Coach, it's no secret the Broncos can put up numbers, finishing with 30 points or more in your last 4 matches. How are you guys doing this? What makes this team so special?
It starts up front with our offensive line. They're big, they're bullies, they're physical, and the whole offense, really the whole team runs through that group. So if it wasn't for them, we would not be 7-1 right now.
And Coach, it's pretty far into the season, and you were a student athlete yourself. Shout out Washington High School. The grind, the homework, the social life. How are these guys maintaining this balance right now?
That's one thing that's awesome about Brophy, right? We preach the whole person, and our kids are diverse and do a great job. We have great kids, and they're good at their time management. So that's what we preach, is the time management.
I was able to watch your game against the Corona Aztecs last week, and I saw Case Vanden Bosch and Rylan Humphreys on the field. How special is it to have 2 quarterbacks that are trusted by this team?
Yeah, I mean, they're both dynamic athletes. They're multi-sport athletes, both great students, both smart. They have a little bit different skill set, and it's great to be able to use them both at times. It puts stress on the other teams, defensive coordinators, to have those guys, and they have to prepare for both of them.
Okay, well, good luck tonight, Coach. We can't wait to see it. Thank you.
Have a good night.
And we are back ready to go here. And we are back ready to go here at Ray Lang Field at Central High School. And after a really amazing veterans recognition and also Native American night recognition from Brophy's facilities, both teams are starting to get ready to go here. Kavish, who should we be looking for here on the Mountain Point squad? Who are the guys that we're going to be looking out for?
So I think for one, their quarterback, Michael Butter Tolfelson. All you fans at home, you heard that right. His nickname is Butter. He's a great player for them. He is listed as a QB, but he has 84 rushing yards on average in a game this season. So he's definitely someone to look out for. They have a few impressive receivers. I'd also mention John Rose, averaging 37 yards receiving a game. Chase Shoemate with 49.9 a game. And, they have a lot of weapons on this team. I really don't think they can go wrong. But, the thing that's going to be the point is that it's just not another team they're going against tonight. They're going against Brophy, the best of the best. So they're going to need all of these players to be, on top of their game if they want to come out of here with a win tonight.
Yeah, and especially you mentioned that Brophy defense specifically. I'm going to talk about and expand on that a little bit. Yeah, all those wide receivers may have some easier looks against other teams, but they're coming into a top 5, potentially an open division team here in Brophy when they finish the season, and that defense is absolutely stout. Mainly led by number 20, Cree Thomas. He's a 4-star commit to the University of Notre Dame, having a fantastic season, 19 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss on the season. Hasn't recorded an interception yet, but really because no one is throwing the ball to wide receivers who are guarding him. He's really just got that scare factor going right now, and he's going to shut them down as he proceeds to walk out with his other captains tonight for Brophy.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Cree Thomas has got in store for tonight. Hopefully a big game. But some of the other guys we have listed. The other pair of the Vanden Bosch, the twins, Bastian Vanden Bosch, 4.5 sacks on the season. He's been one of their better players, and also on defense, players like Dominic Woods, Gregory Riddell, we each have about eight tackles per game and 5 tackles
Insane.
respectively.
Yep.
So there's just in terms of depth, you really can go anywhere with this team.
Yeah, especially considering just, as you've said, the amount of players listed at the line, linebacker, or even at defensive back. They are just incredibly deep. And that stems from just Brophy, pushing football as one of their main sports and just, having that culture as a team.
Yeah, you're talking about culture. How about the fans here tonight? We got a lot of great fans and supporters here tonight. I'm sure it's going to get real loud sooner than later, Greg.
Yeah.
But that's just the culture, here at Brophy. They take their sport seriously, but
Absolutely do. Yeah, and for Brophy, more importantly tonight, they are 7-1, coming off a couple wins, and right now they are bordering right now on that open division. Are they going to get in, or are they going to be 6A? They win tonight and they win South Pointe, they will almost definitely be in that open division. And for those of you who don't know, open division versus 6A is something that was recently expanded on, I believe, 2 years ago. And that essentially means that the best 8 teams in the state get a chance to play in the open division, obviously. And that includes 6A, 5A, or 4A. They're just judged based on strength of schedule and obviously their win-loss record. And the rest of the teams would play in 6A. Brophy, no matter what, will be playing postseason football. The question is whether it's going to be 6A or open. And right now, you run the table, you're going to be at the open division.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you said top 8 teams in the open division, and right now they're ranked 5th.
Yep.
And we're talking about, their sole loss to the season, to Basha, 35-32. They're 4 points away from potentially being, top 1, top 2 ranked team in the state. So, their season's gone as well as it could have been. But that one loss, I'm sure they're, looking to get that one back, whether it's in, the open division playoffs or, just anytime sooner or later.
Yeah, and especially a great point you made there that this team could potentially be the best team in the state despite being ranked 5th. I've heard a lot of Brophy players talking just on campus that they're really mad at their 5th rank. They feel that they should be ranked higher despite that loss just because of how close they played it and how incredibly dominant they've been in their last couple weeks. They have certainly played like a top 3 team, not just a top 5. And with that, Mountain Pointe is ready to kick this one off to Ryder Noche and the Broncos, who will return to the south end.
Yeah, I'm excited to get a first look at the Brophy offense here tonight.
For Mountain Pointe, it'll be number 13, Francisco Orduno, kicker with an absolute cannon of a right leg. And from the 40, we're off. And that will be a touchback in the back of the end zone. Wow, he really is impressive. He's making field goals from actually 45 with no problem. So, not normally something that we see out of high school kickers, the ability to make something from 40 plus. But, if Mountain Pointe is, in need of a field goal, they know that they've got a chance for it.
Yeah. I always love a good kicker shout out, one of the more underrated kickers, punters, really just special teams in general. Always love giving them some love, and especially nowadays in high school football, you're seeing these kickers, seamlessly, get it through from the 50.
Yeah. And really interesting formation. Brophy has both their quarterbacks, Humphreys and Vandenbosch. It'll be designed handoff to Vandenbosch, who will then attempt a pass. Trick play on the first play. He's looking for Dalen Sharper. It's going to be almost picked off there. It was number 4, Rylan Dillard Allen in coverage.
Yeah, talking about a risky move to come out straight out of the game. One of the more orthodox out of the pocket rollouts I think we've seen. And I think he actually got fortunate there because it looked like number 4 on Mountain Pointe had a good shot at an interception there.
Yeah, Allen almost picked that one off, but for the Broncos, it'll come away just an incompletion, and it'll be 2nd down and 10, and they will move out to a normal formation with Harrison Chambers to the left of Vandenbosch. Vandenbosch drops back, going to fire one over to Fitzgerald, who's got an easy catch, and he will move forward and pushing the pile, and it'll be close. Looks like it's going to be picked up about 9, so it'll be 3rd down and short.
Oh, great gain there. I mean, it looked like he caught that, got about 3 or 4 yards, and then whether it was probably a combination of him fighting and a good push from, the rest of his teammates got him pretty close to that 1st down. Great play.
And they will move the chains and say that he extended his hands over, and that'll be a 1st down on a pickup of 10 for Fitzgerald, who will look to recover after having a bit of a rough game last week. Only had 1 catch for 3 yards. But throughout the season, he's been one of Brophy's best wide receivers as he has 24 catches and 6 touchdowns. So very impressive, and he'll look to rebound. In shotgun, 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Vandenbosch will hand this one off to Chambers, who will cut to the left and be tackled and pushed out of bounds for a pickup of about 4 or so.
Edison Chambers, the ball carrier.
Good gain there on the play. I'm really interested to see, their run game for Brophy's been very good. They've been able to use their quarterback, Vandenbosch. We talked about this in pregame a lot. So one thing I'm going to be looking for is, read options, QB power runs, all of this.
And Vandenbosch, interestingly you say that about rushing. He has 19 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback, which is insane. He'll roll out here, and he's going to do exactly what we're talking about. He's going to tuck this one and run it, and he's got a 1st down off a big hit from Allen. And they will say it's clean, and it'll push the chains. But, man, what a big hit there.
Good play. That's 2 plays already, and 4 or 5 plays where he's kind of rolling out of the pocket. He's had a lot of time there, able to get some yards on that, and I'm sure when he's looking back on that tape, that's one of those where he's like, let me get out of bounds.
And they'll go with the screen pass to Nathan Benzie, who will cut up the field for about 8 yards. And a decent play there will make it second down and short.
Vandenbosch's pass complete to Nathan Benzie. Forced out by number 17,
Benzie had a great game last week, 2 catches for 58 yards, and had a really incredible play late in that game in the blowout to Corona del Sol. And he'll look to replicate that. It'll be second down and 3 from midfield. Vandenbosch in shotgun. Chambers to his right. Still trying to clear that play up. Looks like they'll audible. Move Chambers to the left. Nassim Isaac, the tight end, in motion. He will hand this one off to Chambers, who will move behind some blockers, and he will easily get that first down and will move all the way down to the 38, pick up about 12 or so. Great run from Chambers.
Yeah, great lanes opening up by the offensive line on that. The first play of the game on offense, it was a bit of a risky throw, could have gone either way. Everything we've seen since has been very safe, and it's been very efficient working for them. Quick passes, inside runs, and it's been working well.
And for those of you who haven't watched many Brophy games, that is exactly where they want to work, just safe plays, a lot of screens. And that'll be exactly what they do, as Case will throw that one to Nathan Benzie, who will pick up about 5 or so. Just another safe, easy, dink and dunk. Let's pick up some yards on first down, make it second down and short.
And quarterbacks love those curl routes, just getting the ball out of their hands quick. Pretty basic route for any receiver, and, those are the confidence builders that really just make it easy throughout the game.
Another nice catch for Benzie, as that's his second of the game. And Vandenbosch looks to be out there with no shotguns. They motion Chambers off there, so we'll see if they potentially want to maybe go another screen or if they want to take one deep here, as it'll almost definitely be a passing play. Nope, it's going to be a design run. And Vandenbosch will go to the left, and it'll be close. Looks like it's going to be marked a bit short, so it'll be third down and short if they don't move the chains.
Yeah, dragged down by his ankles. Good play by the defense. Able to limit him on the play.
4-yard gain up to the 30.
And they tend to do that play a lot, where they bring 5 wide receivers on, and it'll look like everyone's saying, oh, it's going to be a passing play. But Case, such a good runner, he's able to kind of trick that defense and take it himself. Be third down and 1, and they're going to do the exact same formation, 5 wide receivers. They will motion Ryder Noche, and Noche will get the ball and hand off, and he will dive forward for a pickup about 4, and it's a first down for Ryder Noche, the sophomore. And Noche really not only a dual threat, but a triple threat, as he takes punt and kick returns and also plays cornerback, as well as getting some reps at wide receiver. Really amazing athlete, and is also incredibly good at track as well. In shotgun. Case will drop back. Going to look deep here. And looking for Fitzgerald. And he'll be hauled in by a one-handed catch from Fitzgerald. He's still on his feet, breaking tackles, and it'll be caught down at the 5. What a catch by Devin Fitzgerald.
Phenomenal play there. I mean, it was a good ball. He got it to a receiver. That's all you can ask.
Yeah.
And, he looked a little bit like his dad on that play.
Oh, yeah.
Able to snag that with one hand. Phenomenal play by Devin Fitzgerald.
And for those of you who don't know, Devin Fitzgerald is the son of Cardinals legend Larry Fitzgerald. And this year, he's been playing like him. First down and goal from the 5. Vandenbosch will hand it off to Hayes Chambers, who will bounce to the edge. And behind some blockers, he will get into the end zone for a touchdown. It's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, and it's 6-0 Brophy.
Talk about a great way to start off the game. I mean, little to no negatives at all on that drive. They really got everything how they wanted to, whether they're running the ball, got out some quick throws, and, they're up 6-0. Extra point impending.
Just a calm, cool, collected drive out of the Broncos, and that's exactly the way they wanted to start it out. Vandenbosch to hold, and Ryder Hampton's kick is up and good. It is 7-0 Broncos, and a first drive was pretty much perfect. 8:37 to go, and we'll take a look at Mountain Pointe's offense now. Great drive there by the Broncos, and capped by Hayes Chambers' 5-yard touchdown run.
Yeah. I don't even really think you can fault, Mountain Pointe's defense all too much on that drive. They did what they needed to do, didn't allow any big plays, nearly got a turnover. But, at the end of the day, Brophy was the more consistent team on that drive.
Yep.
But looking towards Mountain Pointe's offense, who are some of the players, we can look forward to who might be getting the ball on this drive?
Yeah, so Mountain Pointe, it's not immediately clear who their quarterback's going to be because we have a battle between Tollefson and Noor, the senior quarterback. Noor started last week and did not really perform well against South Pointe Catholic. Went 5 for 10, only 72 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So while they started him last week, we'll see if they want to run that back and just give him another chance, or if they want to go to Tollefson, who was slightly better last week. Picked up by Allen, and he'll be immediately tackled. Muff the punt a little bit, as Brophy likes to run out their, they kick it immediately on the ground.
A little squib kick.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for there.
Kickoff return tackled by number 7, Cole.
But works well, and it'll be spotted at about the 20, so not great field position for Mountain Point.
Yeah. But going back to what you were talking about their QBs, it's both of them have been playing well this season for the most part, and that's sometimes you say QB battle and you don't always think it's a great position you want to be in, but when you have two very efficient quarterbacks who've been getting the job done, it can be a positive in many senses. Tollefson definitely seems to be the runner type of the two, so it'll be interesting to see.
Tollefson's going to start the game out, and he will immediately hand this one off to Bobo Otis, the number 23, the running back, who will bust forward for about 7 or so. Good run out of him.
Great Rydell. 7-yard gain out to the 29.
Mountain Point's going to move pretty quickly here, or at least get set. So they will start off with Tollefson at quarterback, who went 8 for 15 for 135 and a touchdown last week, and has played his way into the starting role at least for tonight. And Tollefson will hand this one off to Bobo Otis, who's going to bounce to the left immediately, and he will get to the edge and shakes a tackle from Cree Thomas and will be tackled around midfield. Maybe got into Brophy territory a lot there, and that's a pick of about 20 or so. Unfortunately, there's a penalty on the play.
Holding offense.
And that'll be the killer of all good offensive plays, the holding on an offensive lineman. And that'll move him back 10 yards, and it'll be second down and about 13 or so.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. Those are really drive killers, take all the momentum out of it. And, I was just thinking, there were the job containing the edge was none, really. So he had a free path, really turned on the Jets, but I guess we know why now. Likely a hold. Let's see if they can rally from this.
Regardless, Bobo Otis looked very fast on those couple of plays, and as someone who's averaging 5.5 yards per carry, I'd be happy about how he's looked in those couple of plays, even if one of them was negated.
Yeah.
4 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen here, and Tollefson's going to just run it himself, had pressure, and he will bounce to the right side, and he'll pick up about 10 or so, and he will get pretty much all the yards gained back from the holding penalty. And it'll be third down and about 3 or so.
Yeah, good run there by Tollefson. We mentioned this earlier, but 84 rushing yards a game. Both of these QBs really tonight, we might see a lot of rushing yards between them. And that's only more action for us, the fans, the viewers, everyone who's watching tonight. So no complaints.
And he will definitely get a lot more action with that big Brophy defensive line headed by Matthew Hernandez, who currently has 31 tackles on the season and 8 tackles for loss. Absolute beast on that defensive edge. Third down and 3. It'll be a fake handoff to Bobo Otis, and Tollefson will bust through up the edge, and he will get a huge first down. A great run there as he was able to get through the defensive line and just run that for a big gain there. Pick up of 27.
Yeah, I love the choice there by him to keep that on that play. And the fact that he almost broke tackle shows, he's not just an athlete. He has some physicality to him. He can make big plays happen. And that was one right there. Great play.
And it'll be spotted at the Brophy 44 after a big pickup there. 6:45 to go here in the first. And he will start in shotgun. And he will go in motion. Oh, the ball's fumbled, and it'll be ruled an incompletion pass. Was looking for R.J. Washington in motion, number 6. And since it was a forward pass, they will rule it as an incompletion.
Yeah, Mountain Point's going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, that would have potentially been a fumble, but at least would have been a big tackle for loss as Brophy swarmed that play. But Mountain Point will get away with just an incompletion. It'll be second down and 10. Great pressure from Brophy on that play. I think right now, if you're Mountain Point, you want to really stick to that run. Maybe see if you can get Bobo Otis some carries. Guys, they've looked good doing that, and the offensive lines look good so far.
Yeah, they've been pretty reliant on the run game. Wonder if we might see a little play action here.
Yep, it'll be that, and Tollefson will wind it way back, and it'll be incompletion. Looking there for number 6, R.J. Washington.
Great pressure there on the play by Bastian Van den Bosch. He was really what kind of, made the play moot, but a good throwaway nonetheless. And we're facing a third down here.
And while one Vanden Bosch is making plays on the offensive side of the football, the other twin Vanden Bosch, Bastian, is making great defensive plays on the other side. As he's got plenty of D1 offers, and both of them are set to follow their dad, who also played college football and NFL, of course. And they should both have successful careers. It'll be 3rd down and 10 after 2 incompletions, 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Tollefson will drop back. Pressure from Noah Hubbard. And he's still dancing. Pressured by Hernandez. He will finally throw this one away, and it'll be caught on the sideline. It'll be pushed out of bounds. R.J. Washington with a pickup of about 5, and it'll be 4th down and 5 from the 40.
Yeah, I love that pocket presence there by Tollefson. I mean, really making defenders miss, and, a gain of 5, even though it's not a first down, it's definitely better than a loss on the play.
And it'll be a bit of an awkward spot on the field, and it'll be 4th down and 5. Tollefson's still out there. It would be about 58 yards. So despite the pretty impressive kicking job done by Orduno, they will keep the offense out there. A huge play here. R.J. Washington in motion. And Brophy's going to jump the line, and that is going to be a real drive killer defensively for Brophy there. Looks like it was number 25, Dominic Woods, who jumped the line.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate flag there. I mean, 4th and 5, the biggest of stakes, I mean, you really just can't be making those plays, especially, one of the top teams in the state. But I'm sure they're going to try to get this one back.
And it'll be 1st down and 10 now after the 5-yard penalty. Tollefson stays in shotgun. And he will hand this one off to Bobo Otis, and he will be hit immediately, maybe picked up about 2 or so. Great hit there by Gregory Dell, the linebacker.
Jamarian Otis, the ball carrier.
Yeah, Riddell averaging 5.0 sacks on the season. Good play there.
2-yard gain up to 32, 2nd and 8.
Both some long drives for both teams. We're already getting pretty close to the 5:30 mark of the first quarter. I guess that's what happens when both teams are primarily running teams. You're just going to be running some clock.
And yeah, both teams have incredible running quarterbacks, as you said, and then Otis on one side of the ball, and then Harrison Chambers for the Broncos. Really 4 guys who can run the ball effectively. It'll be play action. Tollefson's going to look to his right and fire one into the ground. Brophy says it's incomplete, and the ref will say it hit the ground. Looking for number 80 there, Michael Porter, the sophomore wide receiver.
Yeah, look from our angle that it probably just hit the ground. I mean, Tollefson was really trying to dart that one in there. He threw that pretty hard, and, those ones are tough to complete, especially when you got a sliding receiver. There's a ton of different variables to, kind of expect, but incompletion, and it looks like we're coming up on another 3rd down, 3rd and 8.
Brophy, interesting personnel decision to take Matthew Hernandez, pretty much probably their best defensive lineman out here. Looks like they're going to play a bit softer, probably not blitz as hard, and looks like they're going to try to play a bit of prevent defense here on 3rd down and 8. Shotgun from Tollefson, and despite playing a smaller group of guys, they are going to have no problem getting through that offensive line and getting a huge sack there.
How about that blitz? I mean, we were just talking.
Yeah.
We were the last thing we were expecting, and then you have multiple defenders coming off the edge there. And, Mountain Pointe was not ready for that at all. So great defensive scheming and a great call by the coordinator.
And went with some of their smaller, quicker guys like Dominic Woods and Bastian Vanden Bosch there. Not defensive line, or some defensive linemen, but smaller, quicker guys. And they had no problem getting through that line.
13, Francisco Orduno back in punt formation.
And that'll force the punt on a loss of 11 from a big sack there. And it'll be Orduno who will kick it away to, appears to be Cree Thomas, at the Brophy 10.
Think they made up for that 4th and 5 penalty? I think they might have.
And that was Dominic Woods was the guy who got called for offsides, and he was part of that tackle. I don't know if he's officially going to be credited with that sack, as there were like 4 different Brophy guys who got there. But either way, making a great play and making up for it,
Great way to respond.
Yep.
No coach is going to be happy about that penalty, but that's how you get it back in their good graces. You reward yourself. Great play on defense. And we have the Brophy offense coming back on the field.
And this is a Brophy team that you watched them earlier in games like against Regis and Centennial, where they had a lot of penalties like that. And they just weren't able to get those plays where they made that sack. And they let Regis and Centennial hang in there a lot longer than they should have. But this is a new Brophy team. A lot more mature as they've, grown up some of their junior players and sophomore players. And they really take advantage of the most mistakes and correct them.
Yeah, a lot of the, difference makers on this offense are, upperclassmen. So
Yeah.
starting to see a lot more of that wisdom from them.
And he'll give it off to Carlos Estrada off of another little screen play dink and dunk, and he'll pick up about 6 or so. Estrada, not exactly the backup running back, but as he's gotten pretty equal carries 59 to 57 between him and Chambers, and he will have a nice reception there.
Yeah, nice little check down there on the play.
Mhm.
Looks like they're, kind of keeping going what they had on their first drive. Just taking what the defense is given to them, taking the easy free yards.
And Estrada will do the same play. Looking for Estrada. It'll go to Sharper, who will cut up the middle. Sharper's very fast. He's going to bounce to the left edge. This one might be trouble. He will get all the way to the 45, and that'll be a pickup of 24, and it'll be a flag. And
that's got to be a late hit right there out of bounds.
And that will turn a really nice play into an incredibly great play, as this one could potentially be going to turn a 23-yard gain into a 38-yard gain.
Yeah, I absolutely love that play call from the offense there. I mean, you have the running back coming out of the backfield. It looks like it's exactly what they did on the previous play, another check down, but it's actually an RPO option play. And you had Sharper, who just snuck behind the first level of the defense, got a quick little slant, and made something happen.
And Dalen Sharper, they call him Dash, also a great basketball star. And they don't call him Dash for no reason. He's very, very fast. Able to just cut that one across the field. And great pickup there by him. Brophy's going to stay with those 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. They're going to move Camerata in motion. Vandenbosch in shotgun. And he will hand this one off to Estrada. Will try to find a hole, and he won't. And that will be tackled for a loss of about 1 or so. Great tackle there by number 21, Taylor Caldwell, the linebacker for Mountain Pointe.
Yeah, it's really the first time this game we've seen Mountain Pointe get behind, the line of scrimmage and stop them for, a no gain or loss on the play.
And this is not good news for the Broncos. It appears that Carlos Estrada, I believe that is grabbing his leg or his knee.
Game and all Brophy home sporting events provided by
you hate seeing that.
Director of Sports Health and Safety, Chris White.
We will take a brief break.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And we are back after a scary injury to Carlos Estrada. Has taken him off the field. Was wincing in pain as he limped off there. We'll keep an update on him and let you know what's going on with him as he's being tended to on the stretcher or just in the injury tent. But Brophy's offense will take over. Probably a lot more of Harrison Chamber, potentially Gavin McGuire, the third string running back here. As Harrison Chamber will immediately get the ball and run it up the middle. And he will be stopped after a pickup of about 3 or so.
Good play and physicality from both sides there.
Mhm.
Not really giving up anymore.
Chambers with the carry.
Yeah, that's a really tough injury for Estrada. Everyone hates to see that here. It's almost like the energy in this, stadium was kind of sucked out when that happened. So really unfortunate there. They've been making some good plays for them, but regardless, the Broncos are going to have to figure out a way to, adapt to these situations and, come out of here with a successful drive.
And Brophy's been, really, really healthy so far here in this season, but unfortunately that happens. And Van den Bosch will take a deep shot on third down, and that will be picked off by Allen, looking for Nassim Isaac as tight end, and Mountain Point. A big pickoff there by Rylan Dillard Allen, the defensive back, and just a miscue. Really not sure what was going on there with between Van den Bosch and his wide receiver, and Mountain Point will take advantage of that.
Yeah, so it looked like Brophy's receiver was actually open. There was
Yeah.
a bit of space between him and the player who came down with the interception, but
Allen.
I think, yeah, Allen. But like I think you said, it definitely was a miscommunication because that play could have easily gone for a touchdown.
Yeah, looks like he was open across the middle of the field, and Van den Bosch wanted him to more cut out, and miscommunications will lead to interceptions, and Mountain Point will look to take advantage of this as they start this one from their own 16, 2:39 to go here in the first. Tollison in shotgun, he'll give it to his running back, who'll get forward for a pick of about 2 or so.
Marion Gillespie, the ball
That's a
carrier.
big break there for Mountain Point. Just when you think Brophy's charging down the field on their second consecutive drive, you need an interception. You need a big play to change the course of the game, and they got it. But now the key is whether they can get something going on offense.
Marion Gillespie, the running back, subbing in for Otis here, as both of them will get some reps. And Gillespie has 122 yards and a touchdown on the season, so he's seen it, plenty of playing time, and he'll get some heroes. Will stay out there on a 2nd down and 17. He'll get another carry here, and he will be stopped immediately by Brophy's defensive line. A great tackle there made. Looks like it was Matthew Hernandez part of it, and Brophy's defensive line, just great play there.
Yeah, stout defense, I think they've caught on that Mountain Point's really trying to establish the run game early in this game, and they haven't been having it on this drive.
Gain of 1. 3rd and 6, Pride at the
And Brophy, another interesting personnel change. They're going to move Matthew Hernandez off the field, and this is exactly what we saw last time on the 3rd down and 8. And we'll see if they want to go with some of those smaller guys, the Dominic Woods and the Van den Bosch. We'll see if they want to blitz. They'll only rush 3, play a bit conservative. They'll still get some pressure, and they'll force Tollison to run it himself, and he will twist forward. Got hit by James Pike and Van den Bosch, but he will still get the first down. Great run by him.
Yeah, I guess that's how he gets his name, Butter. He was a little slippery,
Yeah.
a little hard to take down there on that play. It almost looked like I thought he was going to get very close to that first down, maybe 4 or 5, but that last spin move at the end was really what got him that first.
So it'll be a first down as we duck under a minute in the first quarter.
First down, Pride at the 26.
And interesting to see that they're moving towards Gillespie and away from Otis on this drive, who got most of the carries and snaps on that first drive. Tollison in shotgun, no running backs. Flag is thrown. He'll move one over the field to R.J. Washington, who has a great catch and a pick of about 20 or so. We will see if it stands.
That was a great play concept there, but let's see if the flag is here.
And refs are conferring
21-yard
at
gain on the pass play,
midfield.
so the penalty call.
And it will be a
Illegal
formation on the offense. So for the second time this game, Mountain Point's offense will take a big penalty, which would have been another great play. We saw this on the holding call in the first drive, and it'll turn it into negative yards.
Yeah, you just mentioned it. Those are 2 plays there of at least, 20 to 25-yard gain that have been negated, and those really make it tough on the offense. All you want is to just be able to, keep going down the field, no flags, get the momentum going, but that's really just a momentum killer.
18 seconds to go here now, and Mountain Point is in no rush to get a playoff. We'll see if they can potentially, I don't exactly know what the play clock is at, but yeah, 5 seconds to go, and they're in no rush. They're not even set up. It looks like we will head to the first quarter break. It is Broncos 7, Pride 0 after a touchdown from Harrison Chambers. And Mountain Point has the ball right now, driving.
In recognition of Veterans Day.
Yeah, so first quarter of action all done. We've seen some good things from both teams here in this game. Looking at Brophy's offense, tell me what your overall thoughts on are.
I think right now Brophy really just needs to, calm down, and it's going to be tough without Carlos Estrada as he looks to be, seriously tended to right now. But I think that right now they've got to keep it on the ground and keep it with short gains. Both times that they've tried to have Van den Bosch air it out, they had it almost picked off by Allen, and then they had it picked off by Allen for real. And I think both times that they've really tried that deep play, it may have worked against like lesser good teams like Desert Vista and Corona del Sol, but against Mountain Point, they've not let it slide. So I think just simplify it. That's my message if I'm Jason Jewell.
I really agree with you on a lot of your thoughts there, Greg. I think that what has been working for them so well has been their quick passes and
Exactly.
their runs, and that's been going well. We haven't seen a ton of intermediary offense, the middle, the 10 to 15-yard digs, a lot of those yet. But it's either been really short or they're going deep, and their deep plays have not been working too much tonight. So, definitely a lot of positives on offense. They're leading the game, but definitely something that we might see get cleaned up a little bit more as the game progresses.
Yep, and Bobo Otis back out there as we get back here on a first down and 15 after the illegal formation. Tollefson and shotgun, two wide receivers on both sides. He'll move Otis in motion, and he will just take this one back. Pressure from Finch Logan, and he will just throw this one, and he will somehow find a receiver. A great catch there by number 80 for the Pride. That is Michael Porter, the sophomore wide receiver. And that'll move the chains. And what a great play from Tollefson.
Yeah. That's 2 times now where I've really been impressed by his pocket presence. He, I don't think there's anybody here who could doubt that the fact that he's an athlete. He had 3 or 4 guys who were pretty close to getting it to him there, but he had the utmost confidence making players miss and was able to get a little check down for some yardage. And, the chains have been moved.
Really athletic play there, and Tollefson impressing so far. As it'll be first down and 10 from their own 40. He will hand this one off to Bobo Otis, who will bounce to the left edge, and he will find a gap. And he's all the way to the other 40, a pickup of 20. Great play there by Bobo Otis.
Yeah, that's Bobo's best play of the night so far. I mean, he had that one run outside on the left that got taken back as a penalty, but he's one of those guys where you need to get a hand on him early because he's just got that game-breaking speed, or if he has a lane, you're going to be just seeing the back of his cleats.
Almost reminds me a little bit of Jameer Gibbs, a bit undersized, but just gonna work. Not really fearless runner. Gonna go right through a couple defensive linemen who are 150 pounds heavier than him, and he's just because of his speed, he's gonna come out the other end.
Yeah, I like that comparison. He's not the biggest of backs, 5'7", 185, but he's been able to make it work for them tonight.
Tollefson will fake the handoff to Otis, and he will try to work up the edge, and that will not work. As Finch, Logan, and Hernandez are there to shut him down for a no gain.
Quarterback Michael Tollefson with the keeper. Tackled by number 55, Matt Hernandez, and number 92, Josh Finch Logan.
So it'll be second down and 10 from the 40.
No gain, second downs.
And a great play there by pretty much the 2 best guys on Brophy's defensive line, Finch, Logan, and Matthew Hernandez.
And I think one of the things that really helps this Mountain Point offense is, they're obviously run heavy, but whether they go into empty set, the fact that you have a guy like, Tollefson back there who could really just take off and run with it keeps your option so open. And they're going deep.
Tollefson's going to take a deep shot here and guarded by Deshaun Crine, who really just boxed him out there. And a great coverage there as he was looking for Chase Chumate.
Yeah, good play there made by him. I mean, a lot of the times, you're going to be hearing shouts for OPI, defensive PI, really anytime they're hand fighting like that. But I think the big key there was he turned his head around. And, when you have a vision of the ball, that really changes, what you can really do physicality-wise.
Looking for Chase Shumate, the number 2 wide receiver, who had 9 catches for 161 yards and a touchdown last week. And looking to find that connection as that's his first target. Unfortunately for Brophy, on some point in that play, there was a penalty. Did you see one?
I didn't.
Okay. I don't think there was one directly on the play on the pass interference call, but irregardless, it'll be first down and 10 from the Brophy 30 from Mountain Point.
Yeah, it's a tough break for them there on defense.
They'll go in shotgun. A lot of blockers out there. And design run their play there for Otis, and Brophy's not going to be fooled by it one bit. Great play there as guys like James Pike and another couple guys made that tackle. Looks like it was also Finch Logan.
Number 23.
Yeah, we were talking about Chase Shumate, one of their best receivers on Mountain Point. We haven't, really said his name a ton tonight. That was his
First time, yeah.
But definitely interesting to know whether, surely they're going to be looking at him a lot more in this game.
3-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, had a breakout last
Second and
week
13.
against South Point Catholic, but as he pretty much got all of the yardage from Tollefson and Robert Knorr. Be second down and 13 after the loss of 3. Mountain Point's going to stay in shotgun. They will motion. And immediate pressure from James Pike, the safety, and he will just, toss that one out of bounds. And a great play there by Brophy's defense as James Pike, just a great hurry. He was in the backfield immediately.
Yeah, I mean, almost untouched. It's a question of whether these are just great defensive schemes that are catching the offense off guard, or whether the offensive line are missing their blocks and their pickups. So, but we've seen a few times right now that this Brophy defense is not afraid to bring the heat, especially a lot of players on the edge.
And on third down and 13, Brophy's going to move off Josh Finch-Logan and John McDade, 2 big defensive ends, and they're going to go with a small personnel on third down and long. They've liked this move so far. It'll force Tollefson to just throw another one away. And those smaller, skinnier guys like Pike, Woods, or Bastian Vandenbosch have really been their key as they force another fourth down.
Yeah, really great disciplined football there by Brophy. They got the run stop on first down and really weren't letting anything happen. I think their defensive line has been chaotic, to say the least, really just trying to make Tollefson's life as difficult as they can.
And, wow, would this be impressive? Number 13, Arduino, from 50 yards attempt. Made one from 45 in warm-ups here. This is 5 yards back. And the kick is up. And it is going to be to the left. It had enough leg. An impressive kick out of Arduino. Unfortunately, it won't fall. And Brophy will come away with 0 points defensively, and they will get the ball back.
Yeah, that was a close one. I mean, from our angle, we couldn't really get a great view, but it definitely had the leg on it, that's for sure.
And Brophy's defense will return to the bench after, bailing their quarterback out after that interception. And Case Vandenbosch will return to the offense with a chance to redeem himself after that.
Yeah, let's see how the Brophy offense responds. They've had, I'd actually say, 2 successful drives. One of them, just kind of ended on a rough note, the turnover. But for the most part, they've been able to get down the field however they've liked. The first drive, they kind of took their time, and then last play they had the big chunk play by Sharper.
And Case Vandenbosch will hand this one off to Chambers, who will get shut down. Looks like it was number 21, Taylor Caldwell. He's had a nice game there for Mountain Point. He hit him first. Caldwell, one of the highlights of this Mountain Point defense. He has 25 tackles and 6 tackles for loss on the season. Really impressive player for that defense.
Tackle led by number 43, Charlie Felly.
And unfortunately for the Broncos, Carlos Estrada still on that bed there, just getting tended to. Looks like he's in a bit more comfort, has less guys around him as he's trying to just recover. And, of course, he's icing his right foot. Vandenbosch in shotgun again. He will hand this one off to Chambers, who will bounce to the right edge. And he'll turn this one up, and he will get the first, maybe not. He'll be very close after pick up about 8 or so.
Good gain on the play. They had him in motion, and really he just picked up so much steam on that play. It was hard to take him down.
And Brophy is going to bring on their tight end, Nassim Isaac, as they'll go for a more bigger, heavier personnel. Potentially going to, they will give him the first down. But Brophy will stay with the personnel. So a big first down there from Harrison Chambers, and it'll move the chains to the Brophy 30. Vandenbosch in shotgun. He will roll out to his left and will fire it incomplete, looking for his target, Devin Fitzgerald.
Yeah, great coverage there by Chase Shumay. We're saying his name now on defense. That was great coverage there. Didn't bite on the deep route and was all over him on the comeback.
Yep, and that'll force an incompletion, and it'll be second down and 10 from the 30. And right now, Mountain Point in good coverage, forcing Case Vandenbosch, who didn't throw an incompletion for the Desert Vista game or the first half of that Corona del Sol game. So he's made a couple tough passes. Can't really blame him on that there. That's just incredible coverage. But great defensive looks here from this Mountain Point team.
It's like Brophy's talking on the sideline, maybe audibly.
Yeah, it'll be second down and 10. 3 wide receivers on the bottom of your screen, 2 on the top, no running backs. And Vandenbosch will get pressured, and he will run it And he will get a nice gain, pick up about 7 or so. And Brophy's offensive line, big and physical as they are, pushing him for another couple yards, pick up about 8.
Case Vandenbosch with the keeper. Number 30, Justin Smith, first on the stop.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy to take down Van den Bosch. It looks like he got about 5 there before he got contact, and he's just keeping those legs churning,
For the Broncos.
able to get a solid gain on the play.
And Vandenbosch's helmet came off, so he will have to come off for a play. And on 3rd down and 2, it's not exactly the play that you would want him to get hurt on, or not hurt, but have to come out for. It'll be Ryland Humphreys who will sub in for him. Ryland, plenty of experience as he started plenty of games early in this year. So on 3rd down and 2, we'll see how that changed it. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. And Humphreys will take it himself. He can run the ball well as well, and he will be tackled for potentially a loss. It would look like it was number 10 there, George Longoria, great tackle, and it'll force a 4th down.
Yeah, big play made there on defense. So it looks like their running game's been what they've been going to in these tough situations, 3rd and shorts, and they were ready for it. And both teams have had a lot of success, on the ground, but since the 2nd quarter started, I'd say both teams have been picking up on it, and it hasn't been as easy. And that's exactly what we saw there. Lost 1 on the play.
The TFL by George Longoria, who will add to his pile of 5 TFLs coming into this game and 2 sacks, along with 27 tackles. He's been a big part of that defensive line for Mountain Pointe, and he will force the punt here.
Deep to return for the Pride. Number 2, Chase Shoemate.
And the punt from Brophy. Good hang time on it. It'll be fair caught at the 32 of Mountain Pointe. And they will have decent field position as they begin their 3rd drive.
Fair catch by Marion Overstreet.
Brophy's defense looks stout so far here in the first 2 drives. What are you looking for from Mountain Pointe's offense to potentially get through this Brophy defense? They haven't been able to do so far.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, holding, number 17th ranked team in the state to 0 points, midway through the 2nd quarter is, doing great so far. But from Mountain Pointe, they've been running the ball pretty heavily and it's been working, but they really haven't tried to take too much towards the play action or much passing between that. I know they had a seam play for about 20 that got called back, so I think maybe opening up the passing game a little bit could help them.
And Tollefson broke some ankles and then had some space, but fired one way out of bounds. Almost hit like the Brophy TV that's way back out there. Yeah, but threw it away. But able to evade traffic from Bastian Van den Bosch.
Pressure in the backfield led by number 2, Josh Finch-Logan.
Yeah, one thing's clear. Both defenses aren't going to make it easy on either offense tonight.
Yeah.
And you know what? I actually I prefer the defensive low-scoring battles. That's just more of a preference for me. I mean, you could see a shootout in any number of games tonight, but, I love a good defense that can make it tough on a team.
And there will be a penalty, and it'll move Mountain Pointe 5 yards back. Looks like it came, I think it was at the start of the play. It wasn't anything during the play. So potentially another illegal formation or shift, something like that. And that'll push him back 5 yards. Tollefson just going to take it himself, run it, find a gap, and he will pick up the yards that were lost with the pickup of 5.
I wonder if that was a design play there. He looked almost a little confused when he got the ball, as if there was maybe a miscommunication, but still got a gain of about 5 on the play there.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of threw up his hands like, what's going on? But regardless, he's an athlete. He's going to figure out a way to make that play, no matter what the call is. So a nice play there by him, and it will evade any kind of negative yards. 2nd down and 10. Mountain Pointe's going to, looking like it's going to be some kind of special play. They're really talking about this one. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen here. And Tollefson's going to have to run it again. No, he'll throw this one to R.J. Washington, who made a great catch. The question is inbounds, as he came to that sideline very fast. And they will say that he did not get a foot down, and it'll be incomplete to R.J. Washington.
Ooh, I really thought they were going to give it to him. I mean, from our perspective, it looked like it was a bang play, but I thought he almost got his foot down, at least one of them.
Yeah, R.J. Washington, either way, been targeted a lot here, as he's one of clearly Tollefson's favorite targets.
Yeah, one of their better receivers, averaging 41 receiving yards per game. He's been getting a lot of looks tonight.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns as well on the season.
Yeah, that might be a little bit because, we were talking about Cree Thomas earlier. Surely he's got to be on, Chase Shoemate, John Rose. So.
Mm-hmm. And a flag immediately, and Tollefson's just going to walk back in frustration, as that'll push him back 5 yards.
Dead ball.
And yep, it'll be a confirmed a false start, and that'll make a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 15. And what do you make of Brophy taking off some of their biggest and probably best defensive ends like Matthew Hernandez and Joshua Finch-Logan on these 3rd downs?
I think obviously in important situations you want your best players on the field, but 3rd down, I thought defensively they've done such a great job of disguising what they want to do. We've seen so many, zero blitzes off the edge that we both weren't expecting, and so just having that depth, that personnel that allows you to make those changes is a big deal.
And Tollefson's barely going to get out of there, and he will eventually be sacked. And a great job there. Looks like it was Caden McKenzie who finally tackled him. But a lot of guys got in there. Gregory Riddell, Noah Hubbard, Finch Logan, and Van Bosch were all in that backfield. Great defense there by Brophy.
Yeah, great defense. And kind of what we were just talking about, really tough to diagnose what they're doing from an offensive perspective. The last few times on 3rd down, they've been bringing the heat. And what did they do there? Rush about 3, maybe 4, and in a, what looks to be kind of a prevent situation where the QB has time, but eventually they get to him.
And the punt from Arduino will be high but pretty short. It'll hit the ground at the Mountain Point 43 and will bounce to the pretty much midfield. So it'll be a 32-yard punt. And Brophy will take over with incredibly good field position and a chance to potentially make this a 2-score game.
32-yard punt.
Yeah, really good field position. I'm sure they're going to be really happy about where they're starting this drive out for sure.
But going back to what we're talking about, I think that it really speaks a lot to the fact that Brophy can take, to Brophy's depth, that they can take off their best defensive lineman in Matthew Hernandez and still be able to get 5 guys in the backfield. Just really impressive of the depth of this team.
Yeah, it didn't even look like they were rushing that many on the play, especially like you were saying, Hernandez has some of their best D linemen. And what happens? They get the sack on the play, so works out.
And shotgun here from Van Bosch. Move Benzie in motion. Pressure off the edge from Cardwell. And Van Bosch won't find anyone open, and he'll tuck it and run, spinning and taking another big hit from Allen, who must have some kind of personal vendetta against Van Bosch. He's hit him hard a couple times.
These are great runs by Van Bosch, but he's got to get out of bounds. I mean,
Yeah.
he's taking hits that you really do not want to be taking at this rate when he could easily just be stepping out of bounds. That's the second time it's happened now.
And they want to move fast, and he will take a screen pass to Fitzgerald, who's going to break through the defense, and a big pickup there on what was designed to be just a 1-yard pickup on 2nd down and 1. Let's just get the first down. But Fitzgerald saw a gap, and he took it.
Yeah, Fitzgerald is one of those, ace players that you really have to be on top of him the whole game. Looks like, defense wasn't really ready for the hurry-up offense.
They really want to go fast here. Van Bosch will fire this one to Fitzgerald on the pretty much same play, screen play. He'll cut it back more to the center, and he will pick up about 8 or so. But great looks here from Brophy, as I like the hurry-up. They're not really getting bogged down in those, more run-up-the-middle plays, getting out to the outside. I like that.
In on the stop. 8-yard gain.
And it looks like now we're going to get a timeout.
I would assume, yep, it is going to be on Mountain Point. And I like that timeout. Brophy's running a hurry-up offense. You're on those last couple of plays, you looked a bit not ready for what Devin Fitzgerald was going to come at you with on those screenplays. So I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Stop momentum.
Yeah, first of all, there's so much happened in the last few plays that we can talk about. That on the sideline was crazy. I want to, take a little bit of time, check on your QB, but Van Bosch got right up, and he ran right to the line of scrimmage. Big gainer to Fitzgerald going in. So, a good string of a few plays for the offense, and, Company obviously needs to recoup at this point, called the timeout. As they're in the red zone, really want to limit this to 3 points here.
4:33 to go here in the first half, as we are getting close to ending this one. That's the first timeout taken by either team. Brophy saws all 3 of them. It starts to become a factor as you start thinking about human drives and such. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Mountain Point does get the ball. As Van Bosch will look to punch this one in. It's 2nd down and 3 from the Mountain Point 8.
So 2nd and 3, Bronco at the 8.
And Brophy's going to run out 3 wide receivers at the top of your screen, and then they have Devin Fitzgerald and Nathan Benzie at the bottom. No running backs, but this could very well be a designed run for
Yeah,
Van
I'm
Bosch.
thinking
They
it's
like
a
this.
QB run.
Nope, you're going to fire this one. Christian Camarada, the senior wide receiver, who will dive and he will get close. Easily picks up the first down, but I like the play there for Brophy, and they'll pick up the first down.
Van Bosch's pass complete to number 13.
Yeah, that's just one of those, just another positive of having a dual threat QB. For the QBs out there who aren't, as mobile and athletic, all you have to worry about is them in the pocket making the throws. You have a guy like Van Bosch and really, on the other side, Tolfelson, who both are amazing running quarterbacks. It's so difficult for a defense to stay on top of their game. You could have the perfect coverage, walk up all the receivers, but next thing you know, you might see the quarterback running like he's doing right now.
Van Bosch will walk that one in there as he will add his 20th rushing touchdown of this year. 20 rushing touchdowns is crazy if you're a running back. It's even crazier if you're a quarterback.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that was an easy one for him. He strolled
He
in there
really
like it
just
was
strolled in there.
Like it was walking the park.
Great blocking there by that Brophy offensive line.
Number 29.
And
With the try.
Van Bosch will get out there and hold that one for Ryder Hampton as Brophy now up 13-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Hampton's kick, no problem. We're up. It's 14-0 Brophy as Mountain Pointe. A bit stunned right now as Van Bosch just run that down their throat pretty much on that drive. Also with some great passes there. He looked really, really responsive after that interception.
Yeah, he did. Really nothing to critique there from an offensive standpoint. They did everything they needed to do. I thought that drive, looked very similar to the first one of the game where they had a touchdown. And so, their offense is so talented. Whether it's, Van Bosch running the ball or Fitzgerald or,
Yeah, multi-pass.
Number 2, Chase Shoeman.
We apologize for any technical difficulties that you guys may have been experiencing. For those of you who have been, cut out from this game, Case Van Bosch just ran in his 20th rushing touchdown of the season, and Brophy is now 14-0. Bit of confusion here on this kickoff, as Allen will, confusedly pick that one up, and then he's going to pick it up and run it all the way back. Well, wow.
What a play there. The first thing I noticed, he picked up the ball and almost looked like he was going to take a knee or something like that. It almost reminded me of Alvin Kamara. Patient runners like him, Le'Veon Bell, really took us a good second of not even moving to diagnose the special teams and the players coming at him and took off like a lightning bolt.
And he will now have, he has a special teams touchdown in that kick return that we just saw, and he also has an interception as well. He's just playing both sides of the ball. Weird formation here.
Yeah, we might have a fake here.
Obviously, I would hope, and yep, to no one's surprise on these types of plays, we're going to get a flag.
Dead ball. Substitution infraction.
And it'll be substitution on Mountain Pointe, clearly. I'm not sure what's going on there, but if they want to go for 2, it'll now be from the 7-yard line. So, and they will not do it.
Yeah,
so they'll just hand it to our Francisco Arduino for the PAT.
Yeah, but how about the impact of that kickoff touchdown?
Yeah.
Mountain Pointe's really been having a competitive time getting down the field. Brophy has not been making it easy on them at all. And then to get a touchdown just like that, and the offense still isn't even on the field, is huge, especially in a 14-7 game like it is now.
And just as it looked like Brophy was kind of, starting to control this game a little bit, just run it consistently and smoothly, Mountain Pointe with a big explosion, really the first big offensive explosion we've had all game. Technically not on offense, but so a big shift of momentum there, and we'll see what Case Van Bosch and the Brophy offense can do to answer the call.
And I think that could be huge for Mountain Pointe's defense because, you just conceded a touchdown, and I'm sure it wasn't, all the players on defense weren't, happy with how it ended up. When you get a touchdown like that, your energy just goes right back to like it's the start of the game.
Yeah, it kind of just got reset there. Like after they gave up that touchdown, Allen he's going to reset this score back to a 1-score game. It's 14-7, and Arduino is ready to kick it off. And it'll be McNabb Jr. and Ryder Noche, pair of sophomore receivers or cornerbacks, deep to receive. We'll go to Noche in the end zone, and on the second time on his kickoff, Arduino will put that in the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, so Greg, one thing I wanted to ask is, this was one of my first Brophy games of the year, and so the squib kickoff is something that's really interested in me, and it seems that it's been working. Even on that kickoff play, it kind of startled the players a bit. Have you seen that this season? Any successful returns on that quick kick?
That is a very, very common thing for Ryder Hampton and the Brophy offense to do. Ryder Hampton is incredibly consistent, to give him a compliment here, on his PATs. He has no problem knocking it through from there. On more of a longer return, it's not usual to see him hit the end zone. So I think Brophy likes to switch it up, and instead of, just putting touchbacks in, which it might not work every time, is Van Bosch will throw that one to no one. Looks like it was a bit of miscommunication, looking for potentially for Devin Fitzgerald. Back to what I was saying about the kickoff. Looks like they want to like create some miscommunication. That's really the first time I've seen it like just not work there. Great job by Allen there to just recognize what was going on. A lot of the times we get the muff kick, and that just pushes them back, and they'll get a special needs defender to tackle them. Yeah. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. And Van Den Bosch will take a step back, pressure, and he will dump that one off to Chambers, who will work up the sideline, and he will pick up the first down. Pick up about 15 or so, and a great catch there by Chambers.
Complete to number 6, Harrison Chambers. Forced out by the Pride's number 17, Jalen Poulter.
Yeah, good job of Van Den Bosch going back to what's working, just getting the checkdowns going.
He wants to move fast. He will screen it to Devin Fitzgerald for probably the 4th or 5th time tonight already, and he will have a pickup of about 9 or so. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Just easy, dump offs, and they will move the chains here. And that'll be the second first down in a row there.
I don't know why they're not throwing it to Fitzgerald every play. Whether he's blanketed or has space, he is getting a lot more yards than expected. So he's been a great component for them in this game.
3 wide receivers on the short side of the ball. And Case will hand it off. Oh, no, he'll take it himself. I got faked out there. And he will run it himself for about 8 yards or so. Great run by him.
Yeah, great job reading the defense. If he handed that off to, Chambers, the running back, it would have been a loss. It would have been a loss on the play. So great job keeping it. No one went to, take on those read options.
And it looks like Brophy's going to they will sub off Benzie. It looks like they might have been subbing off Chambers, but they'll keep him on there. And it'll be 2nd down and 2. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Van Den Bosch in shotgun again. He's going to take a deeper look here, and he will just dump it off to Chambers again. His 2nd reception of the drive, and he will have an easy first down.
Man, how hard is it to tackle these Brophy players, man? I mean, that's the 2nd time it's just been it's a basic check down. Nothing complex about it. Really getting the ball to him, really at the line of scrimmage or a few yards, but it's up to the player from that standpoint to make players miss, and that's what they're doing. They're turning these, 2 to 3 yard gains into, 5, 6, 7 yards, and that's what really makes it tough to, bring it up to a 3rd down if you can get those consistent yardage.
And a really mature look there by Case Van Den Bosch. Was looking for someone to go deeper as we have a timeout here. It'll be taken by Mountain Point as they want to reset their defense, which has been going hurry up. Back to what I was saying. Really mature look there by Case Van Den Bosch there. Saw no one was open in his progression and just took the easy route of dumping that off to Harrison Chambers.
And the way the game's been looking so far, unless, Mountain Point's getting a lot more riskier taking their chances on defense, that might be all they need to do.
Yeah.
It's not like they've been up this entire game. It's not like they've been having to find themselves in positions to, launch a 50-yard or, take a lot of big throws. Their most success in this game has been the dink downs, the little check plays, and it's been working very well for them.
I think right now, if you're Mountain Point, first off, what's your perspective on how they should counter these plays?
I think I really think they got to be a little bit more risky. I haven't seen them really blitz much this game, and it looks like they're kind of, the best way I describe it is like a bend don't break attitude. They haven't been giving up a lot of chunk plays, but they've been consistently giving up like 5 to 6 plays per games or per play, excuse me. So you could take that, from, both sides of the coin, but I think sooner or later they're going to have to take some more chances because Brophy's getting down the field either way.
And Case will just another 3 yards in the air to Nathan Benzie, and he'll pick it up and move another, 4 yards for a pickup of 7. Exactly what we're talking about. Just an easy pass, just 3 yards, and Benzie easy catch and move it forward a little bit. I think what. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah. Why would you even think about throwing it in the end
Yeah.
zone when
Mhm.
the cornerback is a good 7 yards off of the receiver? Those are just free plays essentially.
Van Bosch will step back, and he will face pressure, and he will be taken down. Looks like he pretty much got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a sack, but it'll only be a loss of about 1 or 2. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Great play by Mountain Pointe, and I think that's pretty much the longest that Case has held the ball today. That he's thrown it. Plenty of tuck and runs here, but
Yeah, and I mean the fact that they got to him, but he still had so much time before
Yep.
they got there. Is a testament to
Rove's offensive line.
Yeah, for sure.
3rd down and 7 here. Camerata in motion. Van Bosch will roll out to his left after pressure, and he will fire this one to Dalen Sharper, who's open. He will stay in bounds, and he will eventually step out. But that will move the chains. It'll be a pickup of at least 10, looking about 12 or so.
Yeah, for their offense, when it's not those quick, either screen passes or curls, we've seen a lot of rollouts tonight, and that's been working well for them. They hit Sharper there on that play. We've seen them target Fitzgerald on those. So something interesting to note, and maybe something Mountain Point's going to want to pick up.
And the clock will stop as Sharper stepped out of bounds, and Brophy will take a bit to reset and potentially change up some offense, but not much to change at this point. So there's 1:49 to go. Mountain Pointe, only has 1 timeout left. Brophy has all 3. I think right now, if you're Brophy, you especially want to stick to this play call because it's wearing down the clock, and it won't give the Pride any chance to get another drive going.
Yeah, I'm sure Mountain Point's going to want to get the ball back in the second half, but you really can't think of that now. I think all you got to do is just really lock down on either getting a turnover or holding them to a few.
Van Bosch going to look over the middle. Devin Fitzgerald has got him. Touchdown, Broncos.
And as I say that, Fitzgerald is wide open in the end zone. So tough break there for the defense. Great call there schematically. I mean, Fitzgerald's been tearing up the defense all night, and how open was he there? Walked in into the end zone. So looks like Mountain Pointe is going to be getting the ball back the second half.
Yeah, 1:29 on the clock here as Ryder Hampton will attempt a kick. So right after Case Van Bosch walked one into the end zone, he will fire one to Devin Fitzgerald. That is now Fitzgerald's 7th receiving touchdown of the year. As the Broncos go up 21-0. And Mountain Pointe will get the ball back with 1:30 to go here.
Yeah, so Brophy's really figured it out offensively in the second quarter. Really, ever since that interception, they've really seemed to know what works against this defense and to take what they can get, I'd say, at the end of the day. They're getting down into the opposing red zone just really by checking the ball down, QB runs, running back runs, so really easy. And then when they get down there, it looks like they're saving their best plays for last. Great play call there for Fitzgerald on that touchdown. And we're going to see Mountain Pointe here. It's been a while because of that kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
We haven't seen their offense on the field for a little bit. But they got 1:30 and a timeout. That's certainly enough time to make something happen here in the second.
As Shoemate will get the ball at about the 10. And he will run it, cut towards the middle, breaks a tackle from Caden McKenzie, and he will turn up with some blockers out to the 30, and he will get to the 35, still going all the way to the 40, and they will shove him forward to the 43. Another great return. This time it's by Shoemate. Last one was by Allen, so good special teams here by Mountain Pointe.
And it looks like they changed that squib kick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This one was just a normal kickoff. Maybe they didn't like how Mountain Pointe was responding to it. But good return again for the team. 1:15 to go in the second.
And so Tollefson's, really been keeping the seat warm on the bench after, pretty much back-to-back defensive drives or offensive drives for Brophy, which means defensive drives for Mountain Pointe. So, maybe he's shaking off a little bit of rust right now, but he will go into the 2-minute drill with 1 timeout and 1:15 on the clock. He'll start off in shotgun with Bobo Otis to his left, and he will cut it back and find a gap, and he will get about 8 or 9. Looks like he stayed in bounds, though.
Yeah, clock is still running here.
Yep.
Good gain on the play across midfield.
But do keep in mind that Mountain Pointe's kicker had enough leg to make a 50-yarder, miss it left-right, but still. And that comes in very clutch right now in this type of situation. So Tollefson will immediately roll out. Big pressure from Bastian Van Den Bosch, and he will sack him. Oh, what a play out of the twin Vandenbosch, brother of Case. And, one of them scoring touchdowns on the other side of the field, and one of them's making plays like that. What a great play.
Yeah, Mountain Point looked pretty confused
Yeah,
on that
just
play.
lost.
I was about to say I was surprised that they weren't hurrying the ball up a little bit more because there was about 15 to 20 seconds that ran off after they were tackled on that QB run, and it looks like they're getting content on letting that be the last play of the half as we're coming down on about 10 seconds here.
And Mountain Point will receive the ball to start the second half, so no pressure to really score here, as hopefully the plan is for Mountain Point is lock down on defense, but be able to get some scores going here. And we are now into halftime. It is 21-7 Brophy after a couple touchdowns, both running and passing by Case Vandenbosch.
Yeah, phenomenal play of action here. Great from both sides. I'm excited to see how Mountain Point, come out after halftime, how they recover. Still a close game, only 21-7. So we got a lot of action-packed football, returning in the second half. We're going to get right back to you.
Make sure to stay tuned for the halftime recap, and we will take a break.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show. I'm Tomas Perez from Arizona State University, and I'm a second-year intern with the Varsity Sports Show. Let's look at our Xavier Gators flag football team. With 20 years of coaching experience, Coach Patterson has led teams in college, youth, tackle football, and flag football, including the U.S. national team for 10 years. His biggest achievements include seeing former players excel as professionals and parents. Currently, he coaches a girls' flag football team at Xavier, noting their strengths in unity and talent, but acknowledging challenges with the new half of the team, including a new quarterback. Despite starting the season with tough losses, the team has improved, winning 4 games in a row and now holding an overall in 5-4. Their goals include finishing with a winning record, potentially winning the region, and making the playoffs. Thank you. I'm Tomas Perez from Arizona State University reporting with the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Kaylee Summer Varsity Sports Show, and I'm going to be talking about Estrella Foothill pulls away late to defeat Buckeye. Senior running back A.J. Horn rushed 24 times for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns to help propose the Wolves to a 32-14 field on Friday night. Estrella Foothills secured its first win over the Hawks since 2020 after losing 4 straight times. So I can't wait to see what Estrella Foothills does this season. This is Kaylee Summer Varsity Sports Show signing off.
The Arizona Cardinals have won consecutive games for the first time since October 24th of 2021. It was another comeback effort for the Cardinals as they faced a 10-point deficit in the third quarter, coming all the way back to win 28-27 over the Miami Dolphins. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride led the way for the Cardinals offense, combining for 235 receiving yards. The rookie sensation was also able to find the end zone for the first time since Week 4 against the Commanders. The Cardinals now sit atop the NFC West with a 4-4 record, having the tiebreaker over the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks. The Cardinals now face an NFC North challenge as they will be welcoming in the 4-3 Chicago Bears. The Bears, who are coming off of a devastating loss to the Commanders as Jaden Daniels completed a last-second Hail Mary to Noah Brown for the win, the Bears are looking to get that bad taste out of their mouths and get back in the win column. The Bears have one of the league's toughest defenses, as they only allow 17 points per game compared to the Cardinals, who allow 25.6 points per game. The key to this game will be who can win the turnover battle, as both teams have a positive turnover differential heading into Week 9. The Cardinals are just a slight 1-point favorite, as this matchup is lined up to be very tightly contested. Reporting for Varsity Sports, I'm Sam Lanier.
And we are back here at Ray Lang Field as we are almost set to end halftime and begin the second half as the Pride will receive the football. It is currently 21-7. Brophy leads, and a really, calm, cool, collected first half of dominance by the Broncos. They started off with a 6-yard rushing touchdown by Harrison Chambers as he added his now 4th touchdown of the season. The Pride were unable to answer, but the Broncos got the ball back, and Case Vandenbosch just kind of threw one that really just ended up in the wrong place as he missed his target and threw under Rylon Dillard Allen for the interception for the Pride. They were, again, unable to do anything, and Brophy got the ball back and scored a touchdown off of a Case Vandenbosch really walk-in touchdown there.
Yeah.
And But on the kickoff return, a huge return there from Rylan Diller Allen as he added a touchdown to his interception. He's really been the hot spot for the Mountain Point Pride. But Brophy was able to answer with another touchdown, and it is now 21-7 after Case Vandenbosch found Devin Fitzgerald for a 26-yard touchdown. I'm joined with
So Kavish Siddhartha, I mean, you couldn't have wrapped up the first half any better, Greg. I mean, it really covered all the points, and I couldn't agree more. Really around the second quarter mark. Well, I guess I'll start off in the first quarter. It looked like Brophy had a little bit of jitters. You know, they were going long a little bit. One time was nearly intercepted. The second was an interception. But the second quarter started, they looked so much more cool and collected, like you were talking about. Really figured out that they didn't need to go deep. You know, if they were checking the ball down, they're getting anywhere from like 5 to 8 yards. And, you know, when you're getting that, it's easy for an offense to go down the field. So they were looking almost at their best in the second quarter. I think we're both excited to see how they come out in the second half, though. But moving on to Mountain Point, you know, Greg, what do you think they need to change up on offense to really get, you know, the team going down the field?
I think offensively, they really haven't looked that poor. If you really watch it, like they were able to move the ball decently on a couple of different plays. Unfortunately, turnovers are a big thing. I think they've got to obviously just fix those little things. I think their bigger issue is defensively. They really have not been able to. I mean, for much of that second quarter, Tollefson sat on the bench because of the kick return. We did not really see a lot of film from their offense. So there's not a lot to really commentate on their offense, especially on that second quarter. I think that defensively, they really have to stick to wide receivers like, glue. I think that they're giving them way too much space to make 3-yard, 2-yard passes, and that's where Vandenbosch is really sitting here. If they are able to eliminate those, they're eliminated all of Brophy's offense. The first kick by Braxton Tate is going to go out of bounds, and that will lead to a penalty, obviously, for Brophy, and that'll lead to good field position for Mountain Point, as Tate's going to come off the field in a bit of frustration.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Mountain Point comes out here. If I could, really narrow it down on one thing for both sides of the ball, I would just say they need to take more risks.
Mm-hmm.
I think offensively they've had success running the ball, but we've seen very little from them throwing. And on defense, they're almost kind of, allowing some of the shorter chunk plays instead of allowing anything big. But, for a normal game plan, that's not a bad idea. But at this point, they're down 2 scores. So something's going to have to change. There's going to have to be more aggression from them. And let's see if they can get back in this ballgame.
Butter Tollefson's in shotgun, and there will be some movement on the defensive line. Looks like Joshua Finch-Logan might have jumped, and that might make it a 1st and 5. And we're going to call right now. It'll be offsides on the Broncos, so it will make it 1st down and 5.
Yeah, 2 flags back to back. I'm sure that's not how Brophy wanted to come out in the second half.
Yeah. So just getting a bit jumpy as their defensive line still been very nice as they've got a couple sacks there, bunch of tackles for loss, and just jumping the gun there. So it'll be 1st down and 5. Tollefson and shotgun again. He'll hand this one off to Bobo Otis, and Bastian Vandenbosch is just not going to be able to wrap him up. He'll push him way back, and that'll be a huge tackle for loss. Eventually harassed out of bounds by Matthew Hernandez, but a great play there by Bastian Vandenbosch to break through that line.
That play might be the definition of containing the edge there. I mean, I was thinking Bobo should have just gone down the second he was getting tackled, because he just kept getting pushed back there. And, especially on a 1st and 5, that's not a killer by any means for Mountain Point, but definitely the right beat that Brophy wanted to get out.
So it will be about a loss of like 13 or so. Yep, 13. And that'll make it a 2nd down and 18. So not a good position after a 13-yard TFL there. Tollefson just going to get a screenplay to his shoemate, and he will be hit immediately, and he won't get much there.
Yeah, the issue is with the screen pass, you can't lob it.
Yeah.
You can't lob it because there was some space there, but the second he lofted that ball up, the defense was on him almost instantaneously. So, those are kind of tough to, plan out really well, and it didn't really work out that well for him on that play.
And Brophy will move again, as you've seen every time on 3rd down. They're going to move Matthew Hernandez off the field. I love this play from Brophy. Just such a deep personnel. Get guys like Gregory Riddell, some of the sophomore, smaller guys who don't really see that much playing time. Just so deep. And it'll be 3rd down and 17 from the 28. Big play for Mountain Point. They've really got to extend this drive. Tollefson's going to drop back, take one deep. And he's got a couple guys out there. It's a huge catch. Oh my goodness, but it'll be ripped away by Brophy. It'll be an interception. And Ryder Noche has it. And it was Tyrone Douglas, number 11, who came down with it from Mountain Pointe. And then Ryder Noche ripped it away, and the refs are going to say that he came down with it. It'll be a first down for Mountain Pointe.
What happened on that play? Because it looked like it was an incredible catch.
And Brophy's crowd and sideline is not happy with this. Break it down.
Yeah, they're going to want to get this going pretty quick here.
Hey, they do not want the refs to talk this one over.
But I mean, I'm still in a little bit of disbelief as what we just watched exactly.
Regardless, what a catch by Tyrone Douglas. So that'll be officially ruled as Boba Otis will push this one up the gut for about 2 yards.
Yeah, so what I would think there is the receiver made an incredible catch coming down. He clearly was down, made contact, even though the defender was still probably on him pretty well and was able to maybe rip it out towards the end of the play. It's really the only reason, because you signaled interception and it looked like it was. Everyone in
the stands was
they were
celebrating,
cheering, but the referee didn't make a signal yet, so I was wondering what was going on here.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 21.
Crazy play though.
But a big burst of momentum here for Mountain Pointe as Tollefson's going to take it himself. He's going to take it to the edge, and he will go untouched. It's a touchdown for Mountain Pointe, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Mountain Pointe, and they will make this a one-score game. And after a couple late first half, touchdowns by Case Vandenbosch, they're able to answer.
Yeah, and they're right back in this game. Assuming they make the extra point, it's just a 7-point game here. And coming back to that play who knows? Mountain Pointe's able to, make this a close one or even come out with the win tonight. We might be talking about that big pass down the field. But that was really the game changer on this drive.
And it'll be Orduno, who is 1 for 1 on PAT so far. Missed a 50-yard field goal. And high snap, but he makes it. And it is a 7-point game here after a huge pass there to number 11, Tyrone Douglas. And then how about Butter Tollefson just slipping by that Brophy defense and getting in there for a 20-yard touchdown on his feet.
Yeah, wild possession there. But, I mean, if you ask Mountain Pointe, I'm sure they couldn't be happier with how they responded straight out of the half. First time they get the ball in the second half, they go right down the field. And, we got ourselves a game again.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be interesting to see how Brophy responds with a little bit of pressure on them, because most of the first half they had a comfortable lead for the most part. I think it was about 2 scores at most or all times. So now let's see how Brophy responds to the pressure.
But interesting to note, after Case Vandenbosch threw that interception and after that special teams touchdown for Mountain Pointe, both times Brophy was able to rally back and get a touchdown. This time they're going to have to answer him again. But a composed offense from Brophy. Defense has been, had its moments on that drive, as there will be a touchback here, and Brophy will start at the 20 as Orduno with his 3rd touchback of the night. 3 for 3 on touchbacks. Really nice, incredibly strong leg out of him. I'm sure he plays soccer or some other sport. But Brophy's offense, got to make a response.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them come out here. Their defense looked pretty decent. I mean, that possession by Mountain Pointe was so quick, it's almost tough to really diagnose the efforts by both teams. But run defense, they were great. And really one of the few plays where Tollefson had a backfield to really drop back and throw the ball.
In the game,
yeah.
Really, yeah.
The defensive line been pressuring them all night. So really nothing really negative to take away from Brophy's defense there. But I'm sure they're going to be wanting to get back on the field and get that one back.
Design run for Vandenbosch will take it to the right side. Going to be some flags thrown here, but if it stands, it'll be a pickup of a 15 and a first down, as he does what he's done all game and run the ball effectively.
Carries about 2 defenders for an extra few.
Yeah, unfortunately, both the Bronco offense is going to walk this one back, and it'll be holding, and that'll bring them back down to their own 10-yard line, and it'll be first down and 20. And right now, you really could not have asked for a better start to the second half if you're Mountain Pointe right now. Got a big touchdown there, and then on that first down, a big stop there. Or really not a stop, but just a Brophy kicking themselves in the foot.
Yeah, this is exactly what Mountain Pointe want to see here. I mean, their defense has been all right tonight, but we've seen, 3 or 4 flags already, whether it's the offense or defense for Brophy tonight. So Mountain Pointe's only going to be taking these.
Shotgun snap here for Van Bosch on first down, and he'll do a screen play to Dalen Sharp, who's going to cut this one back. And he's still on his feet, breaking a big tackle, and another big hit there. I think it was number 4, Allen. He's made some really big. They are clean hits, but like very aggressive player. I love the style of play that he brings. Just really hyping up his defense for them.
Yeah, Rylan Dillard Allen, he already has 5 interceptions this season coming into tonight.
Now 6.
Yeah, now
after
6.
Today, yeah.
So really impressive season from him. He's really been holding their secondary together.
And had 2 of them last week, so 3 interceptions in his last 2 games. A really impressive player, and 45 tackles. So just an incredible defender. Van Bosch in shotgun on second down and 9 after a pickup of 11 from Dalen Sharper. And he will hand this one out to Harrison Chambers, who will find a hole and will find some blockers. And he will pick up close to the first down. It is going to be marked about a yard short. So, yep, they will say it is a third down after a good pickup of 8 by Harrison Chambers.
Third and 1 at the 29.
Big third down right here. If Mountain Point can get a stop, that would be crucial for them.
Yeah, and this is a big pressure moment for Brophy after Mountain Point. Anytime a team is going to cut a 2-score lead to 1 score, it puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And Van Bosch is going to take that pressure and just get to the sideline, design run, and he picked up just enough to get the first down.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to go with him, in some of the more important situations. They really haven't had a ton on offense where they really needed, an important third down or anything. But, just having a QB you trust with, the ball in his hands throwing or on the ground is so important. And it looks like they're going to him in a lot of these important situations.
So big first down. It'll put him out to the 31, and a great response to the holding call. Had first and 20, but able to use 3 plays to pick up 20 yards. And it's another design run. And Van Bosch will immediately get pressure. Looked like he was a bit slow to make a decision. And a great play there by Mountain Point. Number 31, Jaden Holyfield, making the tackle there.
4-yard gain out to the 35. Second and 6.
So it'll be second down and 6 after the pickup of 4 for Van Bosch. And he will stay in shotgun. Motion by Naseem Isaac, the tight end. He's going to roll out to his right.
All day to throw.
Great blocking by Brophy, and he'll find a man. Naseem Isaac, huge play there. And Allen, another big hit on Isaac. This time he's going to be flagged.
Incomplete pass intended for number 87, Naseem Isaac.
And we'll see what the call is. The call is from the other side of the field, so I'm not sure. It was at the exact same time. I would expect this to be some kind of pass interference.
Yeah, I'd be a little surprised if it was from my perspective. It almost
that
looked like
a
he got
clean
there at the
hit.
same time. Yeah. Let's see what they call here.
And nope, it is going to be on Brophy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And it'll be an ineligible player downfield. They would say Naseem Isaac, the way he lined up after being in motion, that he was ineligible to make that catch. So it'll go back for Brophy, and it'll be second down and 11.
Yeah, those illegal men downfield, those are so tough, especially, Van Bosch had days to throw back there, so eventually someone's going to another flag here.
Mountain Point really wanted to dial up some pressure. Look like they were going to bring a 2-man blitz there. Unfortunately, they were a little bit too excited to bring pressure and jumped off sides. So the 5 yards Brophy lost on the ineligible man downfield will be pretty much negated after Mountain Point's going to bring that one back. Be second down and 6. Brophy's going to stay in the same formation. 3 guys at the top of your screen. Look back to clear up the play. Bring Camerata in motion, bottom of your screen.
Yeah, just real quick, one matchup I really enjoyed watching is the cornerback Chase Shoemate on Devin Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Whether it's in press or whatever, they've been having great battles all night.
So after the motion, they will go to Camerata for his second catch of the night, and he'll pick up about 4 or so, and that'll make it third down and short. And another big play here for Mountain Point. We saw a very similar play where they went to Case Van Bosch on the ground. Do you think that they dial up the same thing, let Van Bosch run this one himself?
I would. I think they've had success, and I think you can live with a with a defensive run stop on 3rd and 2, especially when it's been working so well. That's what I would expect.
Brophy's going to bring in 2 tight ends, and they will run it to Van den Bosch. And I don't think he got there. There's a flag thrown out of bounds. It looks like Mountain Point's not very happy with that one, so it's probably against them. And, things are not very clear on that side of the field. We got a huge silent that we're looking at. So refs are conferring. They're not even sure what the call on the field is. But Brophy going with that same play. But I like the response by Mountain Point to shut that down.
Yeah, they've been a lot more ready for Van den Bosch's runs in the second half. And it's a personal foul on the defense. Really tough flag there for the defense, especially when, I don't know if you know, Greg, did they get the first down prior to the flag?
I don't think it was. So I think that would have been a 4th down, but just a huge mistake mentally. After the play, it was called on. But it will give them a 1st down, and Van den Bosch will give it to Chambers, who will pick up a yard or so.
Those are rough, especially if you do make a stop, you get the quarterback, you got so much energy, you might just throw him down a little bit on the sideline, just a little bit of excessive, just play there. So, that's the penalty I'm sure they're going to want back. And now Brophy's offense is past the midfield line.
Yeah, down to the Mountain Point 43 or so. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 after the pickup by Chambers. Brophy running 3-man at the top of your screen. They'll put Chambers in motion, and they will move it to Chambers. Or fake it to Chambers, and they'll go to Sharper, who will move up the middle. He's going to break some tackles, bounce to the edge. He's still going, and he's going to be tackled around the 10. It'll be a pickup of about 30. Man, he can run.
They should just name that play after him.
Yeah.
Because that's 2 or 3 times now we've seen where they fake the check down and just dart a quick little throw inside to him and just let him run.
Yep, and he brings that ball across the field. If he catches out on the right side of the field, he's immediately going to cut left and just, run across the field and just break tackles while he's at it. 1st down play, it'll be Van den Bosch will run it himself. Going to try to find some blockers behind Sharper, and he won't really get much going. But he'll get about 4 or so.
Yeah, but I think that was the biggest play of the half so far for Brophy. Definitely exactly what they wanted to see after, last few minutes. We've seen kind of some stalling from both sides, some quick yardage, some 3rd down and shorts, and then you get a big chunk play right there to change the momentum.
So pick up a 4, and that'll make it 2nd down and 6. Brophy going to move a tight end here. But, yeah, a big play there. Dalen Sharper, we've seen him do that 3 times tonight, just that exact play. And it's especially great when they have that check down that is threatening, if that makes sense, with Chambers, because they've run that play a lot. So you don't know where they're going to go to. And Van den Bosch will fake the handoff again to Chambers. He'll try to bounce off to the edge. They're going to run the same play, and Mountain Point is going to recognize it, and they're going to shut it down. Pick up about 1 or so. It'll be 3rd down and 5 or so.
Yeah, and I think I like what you mentioned about them having the option to check it down as well. And I think that might be, I could be wrong, but if I'm right, having the option to either check the ball down or deliver a little slant RPO play is a big thing for our quarterback, because it's really, you're just choosing whatever you see in the moment.
Yep.
And as has been very evident tonight and across the season, Van den Bosch's decision making, whether it's read options, running the ball, these quick RPO plays, it's been working well.
In shotgun, Van den Bosch is going to look to the end zone looking for Devin Fitzgerald, and they were not on the same page. Really just threw it behind him. Fitzgerald was looking to just find someone in the end zone, deep in the corner, but Van den Bosch wanted him on a cutback, and they could not find the communication. So the field goal unit will come out on the field, attempting a 23-24 yarder.
Yeah, it looks like Fitzgerald was expecting more of a fade there towards the back of the end zone, and Van den Bosch just kind of going for a quick back shoulder.
And Ryder Hampton with the 24
So Ryder Hampton. This is a big field goal, because if it's good, it'll make it a 2-possession game. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is blocked! And Allen will recover it in the end zone. And that is a huge play for Mountain Point. They will get the ball back, only down 1 score. What a big play.
Yeah, that is incredible. You might have jinxed it there, Greg.
Yeah.
That was an incredible play. You were 100% right, though. A field goal there in that situation, difference between 7 and 10 points is monumental. And so them getting the block there, all they need is a touchdown, and they're right back in this game tied.
And after that holding call, Brophy took it over 80 yards down the field and got no points. That's got to be so frustrating. And What a block, though. And they're only down by 1 score after the touchback. They will have the ball at the 20. And Tollefson, a chance to tie it up here. He'll go right to Bobo Otis, who will drive it up the middle, get it about 3 yards.
And how about the special teams of Mountain Point
Yeah,
tonight?
absolutely.
You get a kickoff return touchdown, a blocked field goal. That's really all you can ask. You know, in these high school games, usually you'll see more of an impact on special teams than, you know, the college and professional. But, you know, the effort by the special teams tonight has really been the determining factor in keeping Mountain Point in this game.
4:24 to go here. Tollefson lining up in shotgun. Got two wide receivers both sides. Excuse me, only one wide receiver to the top of your screen. Still confirming the play call. They'll move some motion. And they'll hand the ball to Bobo Otis, who will find his way, somehow broke a tackle, and he will get close to the marker. But a great run there.
Jamarlin Otis, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to start seeing some either toss or stretch plays here to Bobo, because he's really been able to make his best runs happen when he has space on the sidelines or is able to make some jump cuts. Brophy's done a really good job of keeping him to limited yardage when he's coming up the middle, but I'm going to be interested to see if they want to get him outside of the pocket a little bit in space.
I completely agree with you. He's best on the hashes, not necessarily running the ball down Brophy's incredibly defensive line. So a big 3rd down and 2 from Mountain Point's own 28. Tollefson will move in shotgun. Brophy's going to move back off the line. Tollefson's going to run himself big block there, and he will easily get the 1st down. Man, that was a gaping hole there.
Michael Tollefson with the keeper.
And I like that they're going back to what they initially wanted to do. You know, they had that huge, pass play on their last possession that really got them down the field. But at the end of the day, you know, it's so easy for a team to get complacent. Like, oh man, that was pretty and quick. Let's just do that again. Let's dial up another big one. But I like that they're taking their time. You know, some clock is running here, and they're just doing exactly what they were doing in the 1st and 2nd quarter, running the ball up the middle, and you know, they've been moving the chains.
Tollefson will stay in shotgun. He'll give it to Bobo Otis again, and he will run this one up the middle. Good block, better blocking here up the middle, and he will use that to get about 4 or so. But it almost seems that the strategies have kind of changed. Like now Mountain Point is really just trying to get 4 or 5 yards, which is Brophy's entire strategy of the 1st half. So it's kind of flipped a little bit in the 2nd half.
Yeah, Brophy's doing a fine job right now, but they're almost looking a little bit like they're in an unexpected position. They didn't expect to see themselves out of the half. And I think what's more weird is they really haven't done anything egregious to get themselves in this position. It's just been great football from Mountain Point.
And Brophy is finding themselves in a position that they have not been in a month since that Basha game, which is a competitive game in the 2nd half after there's been a lot of blowouts. Aramian almost tackled Bobo way back in the backfield, but he was able to break that tackle and just dive forward to the line of scrimmage. Good job by Jamarlin, nicknamed Bobo Otis. So it'll be a 3rd down and 5 here. A big play coming up. Mountain Point from their own 43. Trying to keep this drive alive after they were gifted it after the blocked field goal. Tollefson in shotgun. Brophy's going to bring a lot of pressure here. And he'll immediately get this one out, looking for Shoemate, and it is incomplete. He threw it behind him. Ryder Noche in coverage, and Shoemate will, in frustration, walk to the sideline.
Yeah, one of the few times this game we've seen Mountain Point opting to throw one down the field. And it looks like, they're going to punt the football here. Probably a smart decision. Still a lot of football to be played here. Coming on about 2 minutes to go in the 3rd.
Yep, so it'll be Noche and Cree Thomas back to receive the punt from the 43. And the punt is high, going to be short. It'll land first at the Brophy 31, and it'll take a generous bounce for Brophy, and it'll bounce back to the 34. They will have decent field position as Case Vandenbosch will come out there to work his 2nd drive of the 2nd half.
22-yard punt.
Yeah, that was a really important stop by Brophy. You know, just when it looked like Mountain Point was gaining a lot of their momentum and possibly charging down the field to even up the game, Brophy gets a huge stop and another chance to extend their lead.
Yeah, great flip of momentum there by that Brophy defense, as you said. So it'll start off on the Brophy 35. Just giving it a little update. Carlos Estrada has been, recovering from that injury. We saw him sustain in the first quarter. He's looking better and better on the sidelines. Not expected to make a return here in this game, but good news for Brophy there. As Harrison Chambers will take that ball off the pass and work about 8 yards. And he has had quite a few receptions here, working him really as a receiver today.
And that's what makes it so difficult, because we've seen that check down a few times. And just when a defense thinks they've gotten that check down, then it's that quick slant to Sharper. So they really are having it either way.
As that screen pass there by Fitzgerald is just going to be shut down. So many guys got that. Tackle will be granted to Taylor Caldwell, the linebacker. That is what I like to see out of Mountain Pointe's defense. We saw Brophy use that screen pass to Fitzgerald so many times, and he was just able to find blockers and find gaps. And that adjustment there that they made at halftime, to just not allow gaps, that's huge right there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's been working well for them. They find themselves on another 3rd and short. And, last time they were running it with Vanden Bosch, but I wonder if they're going to do the same thing here.
Yep. And Vanden Bosch will run it himself, no problem, and he will find a gap and get about 7. Potentially even a face mask there, as Brophy wanted to call.
Yeah, it's been working so well on those 3rd and shorts, just letting Vanden Bosch do what he does best. And that's just letting him maneuver and getting first downs.
Refs are going to confer at midfield. There will be a penalty potentially. And it'll be a personal foul. They will call it a face mask, as Brophy wanted. And that will bring them about to the 35 of Mountain Pointe. And Brophy will have a big first down.
After a 15-yard mark-off to the Pride 35-yard line.
So Brophy has their drive extended after the run play, aided by the face mask. And Brophy reviewing the play right now. 50 seconds to go in the 3rd. Got 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Vanden Bosch will step back and air one out. He's finding Camerata, and he's got a nice catch. And he was wide open on that sideline.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a bit of a wheel route or whatever that was, but he was wide open on the sideline, and it was a great game.
And what will be senior Christian Camerata's final regular season game at Brophy. He's had a nice game, at least 3 receptions from him, so good game. And Brophy's content to just get set on this play call as the clock was stopped. Vanden Bosch in shotgun design run, and he's going to get nowhere. Immediately taken down by Mountain Pointe. Number 10, George Longoria, defensive end, who's having a great game.
That was a great play by Longoria. He just grabbed him and slung him down. Because, I mean, so many times they've gotten to Vanden Bosch, but he's not an easy guy to take down. Usually he might evade a tackle or take a few guys to bring him down, but he was right all over him.
Yeah, it looks like Case wanted to work to that left side of that offensive line, and Longoria came off the right side. And there wasn't really anything working on that left side, so Longoria able to see nothing was working and take advantage of that play. Great play by him.
It looks like they're going to run this play out to the end of the 3rd quarter.
We head to the 4th. Brophy 21, Mountain Pointe 14. It's a big 4th quarter here at Ray Lang. Make sure to stay tuned. We will take a break.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And we are back for the fourth quarter here at Central Field, where the Brophy currently leads Mountain Pointe 21-14. I'm Greg Zaber here with the Varsity Sports Show, joined with
Siddhartha. We had a great third quarter of play. I think it took us both by surprise,
Yeah.
Greg. So could you, what are your initial thoughts on how Mountain Pointe kind of came back? They were throwing a few punches, just when, it looked like Brophy was almost, about to run away with this game. They're right back in it.
Great response by Mountain Pointe, got a big score off of a huge catch by Tyrone Douglas, and then eventually the run in by Butter Tollefson, and then a big block field goal at the move back. But Brophy has it right now driving as Case Vandenbosch is going to escape pressure, step up in the pocket, break a tackle, and it will eventually be dragged down after a pickup of a couple or so. Tackle eventually made there by John Rose.
Yeah, I think Vandenbosch and the receivers, really anyone who's been running or getting the ball down the field's done a great job. But I think the offensive line, we really should be giving a shout out to them because Vandenbosch has had a lot of clean pockets tonight to throw, and especially when you compare it to what Michael Butter Tollefson's had. It hasn't been that easy for him. He's been having to make a lot of stuff happen.
Yeah, they make him shine, and they're led by number 52, the center, Anderson Kopp, who will be attending Kansas next year, and he will be playing football for them as he will join his father in playing sports for them. Great player. And Vandenbosch will roll out to his right, find Dalen Sharper, and he'll be tackled. It'll be very, very close to a first down. This is going to be a critical play on 3rd down and 7. And the ref will make the 4th down call. A great catch here by Sharper, but it's 4th down.
So now do you go back and take another field goal after the last one is blocked, or do you stay on the field?
And we were in this exact position on Brophy's last drive. We had the field goal blocked, as you perfectly said. But Brophy is going to take the gamble, and they're perfect. They're pretty much perfect in these situations. So Vandenbosch in shotgun. Will we see another quarterback sneak on this play? On pretty much any 3rd down and short, that's what the move has been for Brophy, but we'll see if they go back to it.
I would have to think it would be. And also, the box is not super packed in from the defense, so.
They do have a running back. 4th down and 1 from the goal, and it is going to be a penalty before the snap. And it'll be delay of game on Brophy. And now that's starting to make a little bit more sense, just trying to get someone to jump off sides. So that'll move back to the 9, and it'll be a 26-yard field goal for Ryder Hampton.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. I guess we still have to wait to see if it goes through, but I really thought that if they were going to run it on 4th and 1, it could have been a good chance.
Hold is good. The kick is up, and it's no problem. And this one's not going to be blocked, and Ryder Hampton will put 3 points on the board. It's 24-14. But more importantly, Brophy now has a 2-score lead.
I think that 4th down call is really a tough one for coaches. Everyone in the stands, even the teams, they want to see it go for it on 4th and 1. But now you have so much security, which even if there's a 90-95% chance that you succeed on 4th and 1, if you don't, that changes the game so much because all it needs is 1 touchdown. And now you force Mountain Pointe to do the work, which I think is a smart move from Brophy because, Mountain Pointe's offense has been hit or miss tonight, but forcing them to, get points on the board is really going to be a determinant.
It'll be Braxton Tate doing the kickoffs. Interesting that they have Tate do the kickoffs, but Hampton do the PATs. So multiple kickers here on this Brophy team. Kick is high and short. It'll be fielded about the 11 by Shoemate. Shoemate's going to work to the left. He's going to find a gap. This is going to be another great return. It's really only Tate back to make the tackle. He's all the way to the 40. He's at the 30. He's got a blocker. And finally, James Pike will bring him down at the 16. But what a return there by Chase Shoemate. And Mountain Pointe praying for no flags right now. It doesn't look like there are.
Yeah, Shoemate's best play of the game. I mean, they must have been watching a lot of tape on how Brophy's doing their kickoffs because not only when they squibbed it, they returned it for a touchdown. Perfectly normal kick, a high kick, Chase Shumate was able to make something happen on the left side. How about his blockers? I love
Yeah.
some effort from his teammates getting out ahead of him, opening some lanes, and now it's they're real close to a touchdown here.
All the way to the Brophy 18 or so. It'll be Tollefson in shotgun again. We'll give it to Bobo Otis. Bobo going to make a cutback, and that's a good run. It should move the chains. And Otis having a great game so far tonight.
Otis, the ball carrier. James Pike.
Good gain on the play there. They're marching on the door here. They're getting close.
First down.
And it'll be a first down. And they'll give it to Otis again. He's going to get hit immediately. And a great play defensively there by number 51 for the Broncos. That's not a name I'm saying a lot. That's Blake Sweetman. Sometimes we'll see him play center, but interesting that we're seeing him get some snaps at the defensive side of the ball. Not someone I'm normally seeing here, especially in a situation like this, but interesting to see that Brophy coaches are going with that.
Yeah, we've talked about their different substitutions on the defensive line. It looks like they have just the depth at that position to throw in a lot of different players.
And on the second down and 9, we will get an early flag before the snap. And it should most likely be a false start, and it will be. So that'll turn a second down and 9 to a second down and 14. And it'll push him back to the Brophy 14.
I don't think either coach is going to be happy with the amount of penalties going on in the second half. I think that's
quite a lot. Yeah.
There's been, especially compared to the first quarter, at least double, and we've just started the fourth quarter.
So second down and 14, Tollefson in shotgun, Boba Otis to his right. Got another man moving in motion to the other side of that offensive line. Tollefson's going to take it himself, and he's just going to get immediately swarmed. Great defensive pressure there by Brophy's D-line. Plenty of guys got on him. Matthew Hernandez, Bastian Van den Bosch was in there making that tackle. And also Blake Sweetman, another great play.
Yeah, I can't say I've loved the last few play calls. It's really just been 3 straight runs up the middle.
I agree with you.
And, now you're in a 2nd and 14 here.
Actually going to be third down and 14.
Yeah, 3rd and 14. So that makes it tough. But I guess the security of just needing a field goal kind of changes things. But still, I would have liked to see them be a little bit more aggressive, especially when you come out after such an electric kickoff return.
So third down and goal from the 13. And Mountain Pointe needs a touchdown if they want to get a first down. 8 minutes to go here. Tollefson in shotgun. He'll drop back. He's going to take an end zone shot looking for Shumate. Shumate's going to bounce off. He's got it. And it's a touchdown. Blake Shumate. And Brophy thought he pushed off a little bit. And we're going to get a late flag for celebration or whatever. But it doesn't matter. It's going to be a touchdown. We've got ourselves a 4-point game.
Yeah, that play was butter. That was a phenomenal play by Butter Tollefson. And a great job from Chase Shumate. I mean, he got it to a spot where Shumate could make a play, and that's exactly what he did. Wasn't an easy catch by any means, but able to pull it down in the biggest of moments here.
And Brophy, really the only time, I'm pretty sure the only time that it's been a one-score game in the fourth quarter since that Basha game on October 4th. Blew out Desert Vista, blew out Corona del Sol. The question is, can Brophy play a close game and win it? Because they're in a bit of uncharted territory right now.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, there's been some close-ish games for Brophy this season, but, this is going to go up there as one of their closer ones of the season. So, how does this compare to, some of their earlier matchups?
Yeah, had a big game in Perry where they really were able to stick that one out to the end. Right now they have to remember how they felt during that Perry game in those moments of, having stuff like this go on and how they were able to respond. Big interception defensively back in that game by James Pike. They need some plays like that, and I think right now on the sidelines, you just got to be remembering those moments. And Brophy's been in these positions; it's been a while. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you think of Brophy and you just think perennial. You think top of the food chain,
Yep.
One of the best. And when you get those connotations, these moments shouldn't be unexpected or you shouldn't be unprepared. These moments should be, what your team's made for, and really when your team succeeds the most when they need to. So I think Brophy, I'd be surprised if they come out here looking a little sluggish. I think they've been fine here. It's really the kickoff returns that have really killed them this game.
Not something that is normally a huge problem, but really 2 touchdowns have been attributed to the kickoffs. One literally returned for a touchdown, and then the other pretty much brought it out to the 15 and then an easy pass for the touchdown.
Yeah, I do think the one thing is that Case Vandenbosch is going to want to be real protective with the football.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not make a turnover here.
Because a turnover or fumble, really, whatever it is, it could be detrimental. You know, it was still got 8 minutes to go, so still some ball to be played, but
and
really got to be careful.
Will be returned by Ryder Noche. First kick to be returned, and he will find a gap through, and he will cut to the edge. He's out to the 50. He's going to make it to the 40, and he's all the way to the 30. He's going to return this in for a touchdown. Ryder Noche, the sophomore. In one of the biggest moments of Brophy's season, one of their youngest players, Ryder Noche, taking it 95 yards to the house. And wow.
How about that? I mean, hey, if you love special teams, tune in.
This has been your game. 30-21 after that touchdown. And Mountain Pointe had all the momentum, had a chance, now made it a one-score game, and Brophy, what a response. What a play by the kid.
We've seen 2 total kickoff returns for touchdowns and one that was nearly almost a third. So special teams and really just the athletes. It speaks to the amount of talent and athleticism the players from both teams. They're just making plays happen back there.
Extra point is no problem for Ryder Hampton, as he saved perfect 4 for 4 on the night. It's 31-21, 7:45 to go here, and Brophy's defense gonna have to go out there right after they were just on the field for a while, and they're gonna have to make a stop. Man, what a game!
How about that? I mean, this game's keeping me on my toes.
I know.
Just when I think one team's starting to come back, there's kickoff return for the touchdown, and everything changes.
All right, so here we go. I'm excited for this play, the old kickoff.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching this one.
Yeah, normally like kickoff, a time to kind of tune this one out. Normally not a time that you're expecting something. And Brophy, after the last kick return was returned for a touchdown, that one was kicked by Braxton Tate. They're going to bring out Rudain Curry, goes by Rudy, and he's going to try to kick this one off. So they've used now 3 kickers in this game. Not something I've really ever seen. And he will just put one really high and short. It'll be fielded at the 20, and it'll be returned. And he's got some blockers all the way out to the 47. A great play there by the big man, number 28 for Mountain Pointe. That's Nick Valdez, the 5'8", 212 returner.
Yeah, for a linebacker or defensive end, he was moving. I thought he was just going to try to get a few on there, but it was a very impressive return for him. He got a lot more than expected.
So another really good return all the way out to the 48, and they're going to need a short field because they're going to need a quick score because they need 2 scores with 7:39 to go here. And Tollefson's got to you just got to respond here.
Yeah, and that's where the field position really comes into play because you don't need a touchdown right now. Really what you need is just, it would help a ton, but a field goal would do the job a little bit. So,
Bobo Otis going to get shut down by Colin Aramian and Matthew Hernandez. Great defense there by the Brophy D-line.
Jamarlin Otis, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 55, Matthew Hernandez.
And that clock is going to be a huge factor in these last couple of minutes of this fourth quarter after that no gain. So the clock will tick as we move towards 7 minutes. And big matchup I would be aware of here is at the bottom of your screen, a shoemate on Deshaun Crine will be something I would be watching for. It's going to be a design run from Tollefson, and he will not pick up much. Good tackle there by Gregory Riddell.
By number 92, Josh Finch.
And Finch Logan getting in on there.
Noah Hubbard. 1 yard gain. 3rd and 9.
And it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the Mountain Pointe 49. Nearing midfield and a big play here. If you don't make this, it's pretty much got to be 4-down territory.
Yeah. I'm really interested. I'm just trying to think of what they want to dial up here because I think you are right. It is 4th down territory. So whether they want to just take a shot as if it were 4th down or maybe just try to get a few yards to make that 4th down a little easier.
They'll move motion to RJ Washington. They'll just dump this one off to Washington. And he'll be able to break a tackle. He'll step out of bounds, so it'll be 4th down. And R.J. Washington able to break that tackle and able to actually get some positive yards. That was huge. But it'll be 4th down and 5 here. And a play that, in order to extend this game, Mountain Pointe has to make.
4th and 5.
It's going to be out of field goal range from here, despite, the impressive leg of Francisco Orduno. So they will keep Tollefson out there on the 4th down and 5 from the 47. 6:11 to go here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he only got a few yards on that. It looked like he got pretty close to the first.
Timeout.
And there will be a timeout by Brophy, as understanding the significance of this play, they want to clear things up.
Broncos.
And with that being said, we will take a quick break.
The Arizona Cardinals have won consecutive games for the first time since October 24th of 2021. It was another comeback effort for the Cardinals as they faced a 10-point deficit in the third quarter, coming all the way back to win 28-27 over the Miami Dolphins. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride led the way for the Cardinals offense, combining for 235 receiving yards. The rookie sensation was also able to find the end zone for the first time since Week 4 against the Commanders. The Cardinals now sit atop the NFC West with a 4-4 record, having the tiebreaker over the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks. The Cardinals now face the NFC North challenge as they will be welcoming in the 4-3 Chicago Bears. The Bears, who are coming off of a devastating loss to the Commanders as Jaden Daniels completed a last
We're back here on the 4th down and 5 for Mountain Pointe from Brophy territory. Absolutely critical play here. No running backs right now, but we've got a tight bunch-up formation. We'll have R.J. Washington fake the motion, and he'll cut back. Tollefson's getting pressure from Hubbard. He'll roll out, and he's going to have to throw it himself. Oh, my goodness, Tyrone Douglas is wide open. He's going to get the catch all the way down to the 6.
What a throw by Tollefson. It looked like he was just about to cross the line of scrimmage and take off, but he just sidearms it up into the air. I mean, the receiver had so much space there that it didn't need to be a perfect throw. He just needed to give him some space.
And Tyrone Douglas, the savior, waiting at the 15-yard line for the catch. And what a play there by Mountain Pointe to extend the game. And now they have 1st down and goal from the 7. And Tollefson with a chance to make it a 1-score game again. And we'll get a whistle immediately. And another false start, assumably. And refs will confer.
Dead ball.
And yep, it'll be another false start against Mountain Pointe. Not surprising, especially the way that this game has gone out. But great game out of Tyrone Douglas. He's had a couple huge catches in the second half. Only 5 catches on the season, but he's made 2 incredibly critical catches on 3rd down and 4th down in the second half. So interesting to see that they've gone to him. Direct snap to Bobo Otis. And he will push forward to get maybe 2 yards. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 10. 2nd down and goal from the 10.
Number 23, Jamarlin Otis with the direct snap. Number 92, Josh Finch Logan, and number 55, Matt Hernandez with the stop. Gain of 2.
Yeah, just when you think Mountain Pointe's out of this game, they come back with a crazy play, whether it's a return or a big pass like we just saw now.
Tollefson, so much time, and he's just going to fire this one out of bounds. Had so much time there. Great blocking there, but unfortunately none of the receivers able to get open. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 10. And there's not a ton of pressure to score here, especially considering the leg of Orduno. This would only be a 27-yarder, and he's made 45 yarders in warm-up, so that would be no problem. And especially considering that they're only down by 10. Getting a field goal here would make it a 1-score game. However, you definitely want to get that touchdown because it would make the other drive a lot easier. Tollefson's going to roll out to his right immediately. Pressure from Bastian Vandenbosch. He's just going to have to fire this one into the end zone. And it is batted away by number 9, Ryder Noche, making a big play there.
Yeah, great discipline from Noche, not to go for a pick. we've seen some crazy things happen. I mean, just recently, Jaden Daniels, you see that Hail Mary. Crazy stuff can happen in football, so better in most scenarios like that to just play it safe and just knock it out of bounds.
And they will bring out the leg of Francisco Orduno, who is 3 for 3 on his PATs, 0 for 1 on his field goal, but it was from 50. So at the high school level, who can really blame him? This one's from 27. He needs to make this to extend the game pretty much. It is a high snap, high kick, and he's got it.
Ooh, that was a close
It was a close one. And yeah, from our angle, almost looked like it went outside of that left post.
Yeah,
but
I thought it did.
I
Almost,
kinda thought
I
it did
almost thought
too.
thought he missed it, but
refs have a better view than
Yeah.
us, so we'll trust them. So 4:44 on the clock, and it is now 31-24. And now Brophy in another. We've seen this position so many times where Mountain Point has scored to make it a now 1-point game. Excuse me, 1-score game, and now Brophy has to respond to keep that 2-score lead going.
yeah. So Greg, you've watched a lot of Brophy football this season. I mean, a little under 5 to go here. They're up. What
Yep.
do you think their offense does best that you think would allow them to ice this game and potentially just really run clock?
You said run clock. They've got to run the ball. I think that starts with number 6 and number 15. Harrison Chambers had a great game, especially on the ground. And then number 15, Case Vandenbosch. Even though he's a quarterback, he can run the ball so well, as there's going to be another touchback there from Francisco Orduno. So, yeah, run the ball. Don't do anything stupid if you're Brophy. You got a 7-point lead. Even though it's 1 score, you still got to feel comfortable with this with the ball. I think you just kind of got to run it down their throats. 3 timeouts for Mountain Point, 2 timeouts for the Brophy Broncos, as that will be important in a close game. Another critical drive coming up here. And Case Vandenbosch and the Brophy offense are ready to go here. Brophy's gonna run a tight end set with Naseem Isaac, so only 3 wide receivers preparing the run, and that's exactly what they'll do. They'll go to Harrison Chambers, and they won't get much. A great play by the Mountain Point defensive line as a whole, stopping that.
Now, whether we're Mountain Point is going to opt to use their time ice right now or to let it run a little bit more. I think it looks like they're going to let it run. I mean, 4:20, yeah, coming up on 4 minutes. Still some time left.
Yeah, and Brophy will be perfectly content to just let this one kind of run, as Case Vandenbosch is in no hurry whatsoever. Brophy will keep Naseem Isaac in as a tight end. But mainly his duties are coming in the form of blocking, not necessarily pass catching. So they especially bring him in on plays like these where they are going to be running the ball a lot. They'll run it to Chambers again, who's just going to get put down immediately for a tackle for loss. And this is going to be about 2nd down and 15 now after a loss of 5. And
now we
Point,
see a touchdown or timeout.
And Mountain Point will call a timeout on the 3rd down and 15. Just not necessarily to regroup their troops, but just to ice that clock and stop it.
Yeah, I thought for at least one of these 1st or 2nd down plays we were going to see Vandenbosch keep the ball. I was a little surprised to see. I mean, it looked like they were just some inside run plays. I mean, the objective here is to run the clock, but I mean,
there's so much
time. 3rd and 15. Is it 3rd and 10 now?
No, the 3rd down marker is back at the 15.
Okay, looks like we might be having some scoreboard.
Regardless,
yeah.
3rd down and long. I think at this point, if you're Brophy, this is kind of frustrating to be in. I agree with you. I really would like to see Case Vandenbosch run that ball on 1st down or 2nd down. But now I don't know if it's worth it to do it on 3rd down and 15, put your quarterback's health and safety on the line right there.
Yeah, I think I would really be surprised if they ran the ball again, either with Vandenbosch or the running back, because running any more time off is really not that big of a deal at this rate.
Yeah, still so much time, and they have 2 timeouts, both teams.
So I'm hoping to see them be aggressive to get that first.
Vandenbosch with the screen pass to Sharper, and he's going to be tackled immediately. They recognize that. A great tackle for loss by number 7 for Mountain Point. That's Jacob Carter, the DB. Recognition of their plays. And another timeout here by Mountain Point. But what a play there by Jacob Carter. We talked about that play a lot earlier where they will run like a screenplay or a fake check down to Chambers or something, and then they'll go to Dalen Sharper, and he'll cut it back across the field. However, a great recognition there by Jacob Carter to understand what's going on in that play. And they will force a punt.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts on the play call selection there on that drive by Brophy? It was short. I mean, they did get maybe about a minute 20-ish off the clock there.
Not much.
But yeah, not much.
I mean, the only really silver lining from this drive is that now, like, there's so much time that Brophy will likely get the ball back even if they would score. That's the only good takeaway I'm taking from this as a Brophy fan. But I think right now what I would like to see is Vandenbosch run the ball and be more aggressive on first or second down rather than do something on third down when you can't really do much when it's third down and 15. I really think that they should have done something more to let Chambers bounce to the outside where he works better. Not necessarily a big back. He's pretty undersized at 5'7". So I would like to see someone more like that. As Rudy Corey will punt this one away from the Brophy end zone. It'll bounce at the 31 and will take a generous Brophy bounce and will roll all the way to the Mountain Point, Brophy 44. But great field position, plenty of time, and Mountain Point, a chance to get a touchdown, tie this game, and maybe even stage an upset here at Ray Lang Field.
Yeah, I mean, they really got their work cut out for them. I think this is back-to-back drives where they've started the ball almost past the 50 or just about.
Started on the 47 last drive.
So they really don't have, it's not like they're going down, 80 yards to score a touchdown. But Brophy's not going to make it easy for them. They've been on top of their game for pretty much most of the quarters tonight, but this is where it counts. We were just talking about big teams and big moments.
And they'll run it right to Bobo Otis, who will cut forward, and it'll be pushed back by Brophy. Didn't get much there. Great defensive play there. Saw it was Noah Hubbard who got in there. And a good start for this defense.
Yeah, I like how these players they're being aggressive and they're playing till the whistle, but they are not doing, they're not getting any flags or throwing them down late. That's going to be important because flags like that, at this point of the game are killers, really. So I'm liking what I'm seeing on both sides of the ball. Clock running a little under the 3-minute mark.
In shotgun. Tollefson's going to give it to Bobo Otis, who will cut more to the edge. Didn't get much there. It'll be third down and 6 or so. And the clock now about 2:40. Brophy's crowd going to get loud here. On third down, they will move off Matthew Hernandez and Noah Hubbard, some of their bigger guys, as they've done, as has been protocol on third down. But the importance of this play cannot be understated. Third down and 5 at the Brophy 38. Mountain Point needs a touchdown.
It is fourth down territory. So
Absolutely.
The Brophy crowd making some noise tonight.
And the stands are shaking here at Ray Lang. In motion. Tarleton's going to fire one to Tyrone Douglas. It was almost picked off. It was tipped by Douglas. And it'll be fourth down.
Just off of the hands of the receiver. That could have been pretty much the game here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And now it looks like we have an injured player here.
Looks like it is an offensive lineman. Not sure exactly what number it is. So before we go to the fourth down, we will take a break to respect the injured player. And we'll be right back with you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
And we are back here at Ray Lang Field. 2:01 to go here on 4th down and 5. We are still tending to the injured offensive lineman for the Mountain Pointe Pride.
Unfortunate situation, but 4th and 5. This is the game here for Mountain Pointe. They haven't had the most consistent game on offense. What has really been the best for them has been their kickoffs, getting them in positions where they can score.
Not something you hear often,
Yeah,
but yeah.
really not at all, especially in high school ball. But now on a 4th and 5, if you were dialing up the offense, where are you going?
I think right now you got to go Chase Shoemate, especially after that touchdown he gave you. I think that he's got to be the guy right now. I think he's earned it. A couple of nice catches. Fortunately for Mountain Pointe, the injured player is up. It's number 52 offensive lineman Zaire Shoemate, presumably a brother or a cousin in relation to Chase Shoemate. So, just like you got the Van den Bosch brothers, you've got the Shoemate bros. So hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, big play here. If I'm Mountain Pointe, I'd like to see something across the field. I actually like their 3rd down play. It would have been successful if the receiver just caught the ball. But I think we've seen a lot of stuff outside the numbers for them tonight. I want to see if they can maybe get a little slant or a little drag route for the first. But also it helps when you have a quarterback like Tolfelson who can make anything happen from the back of the pocket.
And the stands are getting loud here. Tolfson going to call for motion of Shoemate. Low snap. Tolfson's going to drop back. Going to fire one across the field. It's caught. The question is it a first down? And it's Shoemate with a big catch. And they will make the signal for the first down, and a huge clutch play there by Butter Tollison to chase Shoemate. And it's a first down.
Yeah, that's been the connection in the last few minutes here. That big touchdown earlier.
And looks like we have another injury, potentially, on the Mountain Pointe side. Mountain Pointe player. So, a couple of injuries here late in this game for Mountain Pointe. Ball will be spotted at the Brophy 32, and it'll be first down.
So it still looks like Mountain Pointe still had their timeout. So it looks like they're stopping. It's an official timeout, maybe. Being taken here.
And whatever. Unfortunately, in the booth, we do not have a chance to get a look at the number. So, but he's off and pretty quick timing. So hopefully he's okay. Shoemate, I think it might be Shoemate. He's injured. He took a walk to the bench. Looks to be a bit shaken up. So he will take this play off. So Tolfson without his best weapon, and he's going to need 32 yards and a minute and 45. He'll drop back here. Pressure from Caden McKenzie. He's going to take a deep shot. Looking for the end zone, and he couldn't find Allen. It'll be incomplete and no flags. And Mountain Pointe, Tolfson just screaming up the sideline at the ref for a flag.
But that's great coverage. That's almost textbook coverage right there. I mean, the ball was overthrown. It would have been a heck of a catch to bring that in for a touchdown, but great defense there by Brophy.
And great coverage there by not only the first cornerback, but also secondary coverage there by Cree Thomas. Sure will be making those plays in South Bend next year, playing for Notre Dame. And so the clock will stop. And Shoemate is back in the game. So Chase Shoemate back for Mountain Pointe after he had to take a play off. Tolfson going to take all the time in the world to just make sure his receivers know what's up. He'll drop back here. Pressure. He's going to make a throw off his back foot. It's going to be in the hands of Deshaun Crine. It's intercepted. And he just made an unbalanced throw, and it was an easy pickoff for Deshaun Crine.
And the crowd erupts here. They, as we do, get the feeling that was really the game there. 1:29 on the clock. Mountain Point have a timeout, but that is the ball game right there. And
if you have 40 seconds taking off for every play, they could technically maybe get a couple seconds left, but if Brophy gets any kind of offensive movement, this one should be iced, and Brophy should be looking to move up to 8-1 and keep their spot in the top 5 of the Open Division.
Yeah, Michael Butter Tolfelson has really had a great game, I think. But I didn't think that throw was necessary. I think it was 2nd and 10, I believe.
Yep, it was.
Still a minute 30 left. I don't think that's when you really need to be taking those Hail Mary, big opportunity throws.
And no one was open.
Yeah, it was a really easy pick. And it looks like Brophy might just try to choose some clock, kneel it, or...
Yeah, Vandenbosch is going to kind of dance around and eventually go down.
But, I mean, it's a tough situation to be in. We could nitpick it how, sure, might not have been perfect. But, at the end of the day, inside 2 minutes of a football game, it's pretty serious. So, he thought he might have seen something down there, trying to give his receiver a play. Didn't work out for them that time.
So 1:21 left, and there will be a timeout. And in 2 plays, they could pretty much kneel this one out if they wanted to, as long as they dance around for a couple seconds. So, assuming that we don't have any last-second heroics, Brophy will now move up to 8-1. Next week, they will head down to Tucson for about a 2-hour drive and face South Pointe Catholic in the season finale. And, I don't like to use the transitional property, I believe it's called, but Mountain Point just lost to South Pointe Catholic last week, 29-12. And, again, I don't really love to use that property, but if we can see that South Pointe Catholic beat up decently on Mountain Point, and if Brophy kind of struggled and maybe is only going to beat them by a touchdown, then that South Pointe Catholic versus Brophy game may be closer than some people may want to, or maybe they're speculating about.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I was actually just thinking about that, and I think, I'm always a believer that these tough games, it's better that they happen for good teams like Brophy now than against a South Point or in the playoffs. You want to get all those hiccups.
Yep.
And, they had some flags this game, some special teams issues. These are all things you want to clean up as early in the season as you can. And so I really, I think we both have our eyes locked on that South Point game, and I think all the viewers at home should too as well. That should be a great one.
Casey's going to run this one, and he's going to find the first down, and he's going to go down inbounds, and this one will do it. And Brophy will have the opportunity to just kneel it out on the next plays. On the other side of the football, Mountain Point will drop to 5-4 after a tough loss, but really impressed by what I saw by the Pride tonight here, coming into Brophy Stadium and putting up the effort that they did. They will still be competitive for the 6A playoffs in some way, shape, or form. Not going to be the Open, obviously, but they're still a top 20 team that could make some noise in the 6A playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I think, what a game we had tonight. I mean, really just some action from both sides of the field, and I think no better way I'd put it than just determination and a drive not to lose this game from both teams. I mean, there were so many moments from Mountain Point where it looked like they were just slipping out of this game, and the next thing you know, they have an absurd, crazy play, and they're right back into it. And so I think, Mountain Point, this is a tough loss for them, but I think they showed a lot of grit tonight, and I think they'll come back stronger.
24 seconds to go here. It appears that no other kneels are necessary, so the final play has been over. A big win led by Case Vandenbosch and the Brophy offense. But how about Brophy's defense? Deshaun Crine getting that last-second pick.
Oh, yeah. We're heading up. The game's almost done, but before we head out, you've seen a lot of Brophy football this season. If I had to ask you, it's on the spot, but a little player of the game for tonight, where are you going, Greg?
Player of the game, player of the game, player of the game. Who's it going to be? There's a lot of guys that you could go to. Defensively, you had guys like Crine making plays. You had guys, Bastian Vandenbosch making a big sack in the game. I think overall, you got to go offensively. I'm going to say, I normally would say it's Case Vandenbosch. He played a great game tonight. I've got to say that, but I also don't want to be boring and just say the quarterback is player of the game. Like the Super Bowl MVP or something like that. I'm going to say I think this was a really important rebound game for Devin Fitzgerald and his connection with Case Vandenbosch. He only had one catch for 3 yards last week against Corona del Sol, and he's someone who's going to be looked at as a WR1, like the best wide receiver on a team. And he had like 6 or 7 catches tonight, had that screen pass connection, and had that ability to run after the catch. Also had a 26-yard touchdown, and that ended up being the difference. So I think that he's the player of the game for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I might have to agree with you there. I think he's really bounced back well. Just anytime he touched the ball tonight, it looked so difficult for the Mountain Point defense to get him down. It was really really tough, and I think that's all you can ask for your top receiver. But like I said, it wasn't an easy question. We really could go either way with any of these players.
And just give us a little second. We are going to be back with the full game recap after a quick break. And we are back here after Brophy with a big victory here, 31-24 over the Mountain Point Pride. I'm Greg Zaber here with the Varsity Sports Show, joined with my partner.
Kavish Siddhartha, we just had an excellent game. We were just watching now. We were just moments away actually from the game ending, and I mean, I don't think we could ask for a better matchup tonight. So many great things to take away from both teams. I mean, where do you want to get started?
Let's start it off at, first half. Brophy got out to a great start. Quick little score there from Harrison Chambers. And they also got another score from Case Vandenbosch as he ran one in there. Mountain Point was able to answer with a touchdown to, I believe that was Allen? Yeah, okay. And then Brophy was able to counter that one with a touchdown pass to Devin Fitzgerald. And we went into halftime 21-7 thinking that Brophy was going to win this game easily by 2 touchdowns. You, I think, even said they have a chance of winning it by 3 touchdowns. We were not prepared for the grit and the heart that Mountain Point was going to show in the second half. They got a big touchdown early, huge pass to Tyrone Douglas. Controversially, might have been an interception, but they were still able to get a touchdown on that drive there. Brophy, and then after that, it was really back and forth. After they cut it to a 1-score game, Brophy able to make it a 2-score game again. Mountain Point cutting it to a 1-score game. That process pretty much repeated a couple times after some crazy kickoff returns from not only Mountain Point and guys like Allen, but also Brophy, Ryder Noche with a huge kick return touchdown, and that led us to the final moments where Tollefson's pass, which was attempting to potentially tie the game, was intercepted by Deshaun Crine, and Brophy was able to kneel this one out. What are your takeaways from this game?
Yeah, so thanks for the whole recap there. I mean, I was just trying to get it all together. So that was great, but I really think the big thing was we had 2 really good offenses tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But, how many high school teams in this state or any state get by on their offense or what they can do on that side of the ball? I really thought that the big difference tonight was Brophy's defense. And, you look at the score and 24 points allowed to Mountain Point, you're like, okay, that could be
They
a
were
good
all
defensive
right,
game,
yeah.
but 24 points is 24 points. That's a solid sum. I would think at least half of those points were due to either a return touchdown or a return putting Mountain Point in an excellent position.
On the 15, yep.
So when your defense is out there and you have to, it's 15 yards or a touchdown, you're going to give up some touchdowns. But I think if you look at this game laterally, you look at the big picture, I think their defense was phenomenal tonight. I think that Michael Tolfelson had a phenomenal game, but I mean, so much of the time, he rarely had time to throw. And I think that's a large part due to Brophy's defensive line, their secondary. I really just think it was a complete game from their defense. Obviously, things they're going to want to clean up, but I think their defense is what won them this game tonight.
And for Brophy, the whole message that this season has been unfinished business. You see a couple guys running around with shirts, the unfinished business crew. They run a show that comes out weekly on Brophy's YouTube channel, popular around campus. You see guys watching all the time. And that goes back to last year where in the 6A finals, they lost to Red Mountain by a couple points. That's been on their mind the entire season. And now we really see that business like starting to manifest here. Brophy's now 8-1. They're going to stay in the top 5 of the Open division, not just the 6A division from last year, but this is a team that has a chance to potentially even win state in the Open division. They will be in action at Pointe Catholic next week, which will be a huge opportunity to cement their place in the playoffs, which is the final game that will take place on Tucson and will of course be broadcast live on the Varsity Sports Show. Meanwhile, Mountain Pointe will drop to 5-4 and will have their season finale next week. I'm Greg Zaber here with the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Kavi Siddhartha. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching and stay tuned next week.